What's this? What's this? Right. Here we go. Here we go. Grand opening, grand closing. Hey, welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Welcome back. What is this? Episode 261? 60 Frames No Like podcast with your host, only friend these YouTube streets, Puerto77. And we are live. And of course, I got so far who showed up. The voice of Xbox, well, really the voice of PC gaming. The voice of his 3060. We got Craig Harris. What's going on, my brother?
What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Certainly hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to the chat and hit that like button and share the K.
Absolutely. Yeah, people already in the chat saying here for the polls. I'm gonna hold the polls hostage. The first poll goes up at 100 likes.
Pause.
The first, oh shit, the polls. Oh snap!
I came in and all I heard is somebody holding the poll.
That's it. Oh damn. Oh, pause for the calls. Oh man, what's going on? So, also who joined us is the antagonizer in chief, J Dub. What's going on, my brother?
What is good, my brother? Hey man, I've been pretty busy today, man. I hadn't had a chance to see what's going on Twitter and left work. And as soon as I checked my Twitter app, man, I saw that Nintendo and Sony are joining forces, man. What's up with that?
Wait, whoa. You're gonna have to link me to that. What's going on here?
Yeah, they're Sony and Nintendo are joining forces. They financed the Zelda movie, and Sony's going to produce it. Yeah,
I can't talk shit. I can't use that. I can't. No, man. You just set me the front lines with a spitball. What the hell you want me to do with that? What can I can't do nothing with that. I'm not
start somewhere, brother.
I'm not a movie fighter, man. I'm in the front lines, and you hear, but I hear this. Here's a slingshot. I don't know, like David and Goliath, boy. You better give me an atom bomb or something. Man. Oh, snap, man! Hold the line. This is you want me to break that lines with this? Oh, so but hey, so what you got? What's the story? What's the story? They're gonna do a Zelda movie or anime or cartoon? What?
No, a live movie. A
live movie. Oh, shit, that's good.
They got the producer. They got the director.
Who is it? Is it starring with The Rock?
No.
As Link?
They don't have the cast yet. Yeah. Listen,
but here's
somebody made a joke. They said if said that Tom Holland is going to play Link. I said,
yeah. Well, that actually would work with his age and he's already. It would work. It's not a bad fan casting. Let's just put it.
But I'm gonna be honest. I never imagined them making a live action. How would you even do that? There's like
he doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk. It's a I mean, it's just an art style. So there's really nothing you can say that would be like, oh, this disappointing because I thought this person, like, we don't know what the fuck. I mean,
that's good.
You get anybody to play Zelda, right?
Yeah, just keep your mouth shut. Hell, you can have me play Zelda. I mean, you can have me play Link.
Facts.
I just shut the fuck up and swing the sword and just say ha ha ha. That's all I gotta do. Ha ha ha. That's it throughout the whole movie. You know.
But I do wonder though. Like clearly that can lead to other things. If it's both finance.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I see what you. Maybe to more shows. Maybe to more shows and more movies.
Yeah, but check this out. Hear me, right? I'm allowed to go 10 for a hat every now and then, right?
Don't do this. I'm gonna be like, oh no, Alex, don't do this.
No.
Don't do it. They're gonna clip you. Remember, listen. Let me give you a heads up. Yeah. Remember who you're talking about. These are the dudes that will sue your ass if you even have the letter N shaped of a Nintendo. Exactly. Just remember who you're talking about. These dudes.
Exactly.
Just I'm just saying. I understand the tip for a hat, but you could probably pull that with any other company but them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So check this out, right?
What's up?
Mario, that movie came out. That was a big hit. It did really well.
It did.
Zelda, has the potential to do really well. Now imagine all of Nintendo's other IPs, Metroid or just
for like
whatever,
movies.
just any of the other with movies.
For movies, TV shows. Yeah. I could see that. I could see Nintendo be like, you know what? We making money and Sony can help us fund these movie projects, maybe TV shows. And the thing about this is, in that aspect, right? Sony doesn't own the streaming service. So that's why I think that's the one advantage Sony has. So they can negotiate with HBO Max, Peacock, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Netflix, so they could spread all that stuff, and I think Nintendo would like that as well, where all their stuff is not locked into one streaming service. So I thought you had some news. You know what I'm saying?
No. I mean, if you know Nintendo and how they fucking hold their IP close to their chest, they don't let anybody touch their stuff, and for them to to go in partnership with Sony on that,
but I think with movies, I mean, that's what I mean.
I think I don't see that happening with games.
Oh yeah, that's not even. Yeah, you can forget about that shit.
Yeah.
Nintendo would laugh like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but I could see them in the future making a game together, like co-making a game or having some cross.
Really?
Yeah, I can see. I can see Kratos in one of the goddamn Smash Brothers or some kind of crossover. I can see that shit. I don't think that would. It's not like Sony got a fighter that they would put Nintendo characters in, but I mean, there's been so many other IPs outside of Nintendo or those characters ending up in Smash Brothers and stuff like that. So I can see that.
Okay. I don't know. The only reason why I'm saying that they would cross collab is only because I remember during the 360 era, when Xbox with Peter Moore was pushing the Wii 60. With the price you can for the price of a PS3 you can buy
both.
You could buy an Xbox 360 and a Wii.
Yeah.
So that was actually a good like strategy that he started, the Wii 60, right? You get two consoles with exclusives, biggest titles, all that stuff, new way to play, right? Mm-hmm. So he started that. Peter Moore started that, right? And it was a smart move. Like I always said, that dude was probably the best CEO or best person in charge of Xbox ever, right? But anyway,
absolutely.
When they asked Reggie that same question, right, to see if they could get Nintendo to co-sign that statement, he says, no, just buy more Nintendo stuff. He said,
exactly.
He said, no. He said, don't buy 360. Just put that money and buy more Nintendo stuff. Yo, Nintendo, that company gets no two shits. He said, hell no, why are you going to buy Xbox? Just buy more Nintendo Wii stuff.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. That tells you that Nintendo and Sony, like, they care about their fucking hardware and their ecosystem. They don't want that shit to go anywhere else. Versus Microsoft with Xbox, they don't give a fuck. They want their shit to go everywhere, and they embrace others more than they do their own. Even this past week, we saw with Phil Spencer in the interview and stuff talking about that they look at Sony and Nintendo, they look at PlayStation and Xbox as part of their ecosystem too. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. Well, I agree with J-Dub in the sense that I think you will see more cross-pollination. It'll start small. I mean, the Smash Brothers thing is you put one or two Sony characters on a Smash Brothers game. It's not, or I don't know, make downloadable content, whatever they do. I think you will start seeing more of that as we get further into this decade. Little more sharing of some of the intellectual property that we. But I think that's the way things are trending anyway, based on what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, money talks, and if it's gonna bring in more money without causing them any harm to their consoles, I think they'll be up to it.
And it makes sense to go to Sony because they made $100 million with.
There were
Gran
movie studios. They know how to make movies, and they know how to take care of the video games, right? So it's a collaboration in all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, Last of Us has done very well. Gran Turismo made $100 million.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it
Uncharted did really well.
Twisted Metal was really good. I was really surprised at how well that show came out. I was actually really surprised. I'm like, wait a minute, this is really well done.
Yeah, really good writer. Yeah, they're 4-0, and that was started. Sean Layton actually started a small company to do a market study to see what games that Sony does have that makes sense to bring to big screen or TV screen. Yeah. Again, started with Layton. So this is still his fingerprints on the Gran Turismo movie, The Last of Us TV show.
They're working on the Ghost of Tsushima movie. They're working on the God of War series or movie. I can't remember. And there's another
Horizon, right?
Horizon.
But FX may have beaten Sony. FX has a show coming on called Shogun, and it looks just like Ghost of Tsushima. I thought that's what it was. It was commercial was running. I'm like, is this Ghost of Tsushima? But it was just called Shogun. So, so they may have beaten them to it. So unfortunately for Sony, if the show does well, but it's on FX. FX, they let them bend the rules a little bit more. They come on around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. You're gonna see, some heads and some bodies getting chopped off, So we'll see. It's called Shogun. If anybody wants to look it up, I was gonna talk about it in a couple of probably Saturday. I was gonna try to.
That's interesting. All right. Okay. Let's start out with the first topic, all right? Hey, so everybody, appreciate you guys rocking out. Thank you for showing up. Charles Hawk with the super chat, thank you so much. Says good day today. Was able to snag some tickets to the Game Awards. Oh, we're gonna talk about that as a side chat. Oh, congratulations! Hopefully the Bill Clinton kid makes a reappearance. That kid is funny, man. That kid, you ever seen? Now he's like, ever since then, he goes on podcasts. I think he has his own shit. But, like, oh, man, I think you gotta seen it. You seen the one where he was on a podcast, and he called the people on the podcast illiterate?
I did not see that.
You seen that one? Oh, hold up. You haven't seen that one? Yo, it's funny. He goes, a bunch of illiterate people, and the girl was like, you're like 13. And he goes, you can read? And she goes, yeah. Name me 10 books. She couldn't name 10 books. He's like, name 10 books. Yo, that shit was funny. He's like, and she's like, name me books. He's like, you see, these stupid people who can't even. Yo, that shit was funny. He said, you can read? Name 10 books. But when you think about it, that shit puts you on the spot.
Exactly. It's like, oh shit. It's like, oh shit.
Yo, she said Twilight. He's like, Game of Thrones. So that's where she messed up, right? Because she said Game of Thrones, right? He goes, fine, what's the name of the books? And she's like, Game of Thrones? He goes, no, dummy. That's not the name of the books. Because it's not. The name of the books is a Song of Fire and Ice or a Song of Ice and Fire. Game of Thrones is like a chapter. It's like one, but it's not, the whole series is not called Game. Oh, that shit was funny.
Right. Yeah.
That shit was funny. That kid was funny. He's like, name 10 books. And he still talks like that. A Song of Ice and Fire. There you go. Oh, man.
I don't understand, like, why somebody hadn't whooped his ass here, because Jeff Keighley, this 2 years in a row, this dude have did that. And Jeff Keighley, he said last year, before this guy came on this last time, he said we have things in place to prevent this again. Sure enough, this motherfucker got him again. So, it's like, I don't know what Jeff Keighley can do to keep people from.
Can't get some security guards or something. Stop being cheap. Oh, shout out to Donald Brown. He's like, been a member 19 months. He says, LeBron, how about them Raiders? Hey, we end up the winner because we're going to end up with a higher pick than you. It's all about the draft picks, dog. At this point, it's about them. It's about them draft picks. I don't know what you trying to achieve. We try to get these draft picks.
Trade Devontae Adams, trade Devontae Adams and get at least a number 2 for him.
And plus Daniel Jones out for the season. Oh, this is terrible, man. This is just terrible, man. This is just terrible, man. I mean, me and J-Dub, we having it bad. The Texans are bad. Houston Astros lost. Yankees lost. One and done. I didn't get a chance to bust your balls off of the Stros.
Oh man,
I didn't get you. Yo, but I ain't gonna lie, Texas, where the hell they came from?
Hey, they came.
I'm like, who the hell is this?
Hey, we couldn't even be mad at them, man.
No.
Fuck, they're good.
They whooped the shit out of the Diamondbacks, but I don't want to bore. I don't want to bore people with baseball. You know what I'm saying? But let's hit up the first topic. You know what I'm saying? Let's hit up the first topic. The first topic is real quick. So PlayStation's like, nah, Elon, what you asking for?
We ain't
Nope. I don't know what's going on, but sad to say, PlayStation released a message saying important changes to PlayStation communities on your PS5 console. As of November 13, 2023, integration with X, formerly known as Twitter, will no longer function on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 consoles. This includes the ability to view any content published on X on PS5, PS4, and the ability to post and view content, trophies, and other gameplay-related activities on X directly from your PS5, PS4, or link an X account to do so. For details on how to share game captures from PS5, click the button below. So, I know, me personally, I use this sparingly, so it's not like it's a big issue for me using it, but what I did get out of it, though, is what other people do. There was games I played simply because I seen people share their clips, share their videos, and I was like, man, one of those games was Tales of Arise. When I saw that, like, on Twitter, a video of boss fight, I was like, man, that looks really good, and that was one of the reasons why I ended up playing the game. So for me personally, I liked seeing what other people just clip, because to me that seemed more genuine than a streamer or like a journalist or gaming outlet, because they usually try to pick stuff, you know, for, you know, the hits or whatever, while just gamers, they just pick stuff that they liked and it just represented the game well, right? Because it was more organic. It wasn't funny business. People just share clips of what they did and stuff like that. And some of the games, you know, that was just a good thing, right? So I was like, man, this kind of sucks, you know, from that aspect. From the content creator aspect, man, Twitter's just becoming a shittier place for gamers. You know, unless you're like us who like to talk shit. Yeah, like, what good is Twitter at this point? Yeah. Like, but even not as a but I mean, as a gamer, like a gamer content creator, unless you're like, you know, like me, you know, you J-Dub, where we just love to talk shit and cause trouble. But if you want to be a legit, you know, if you're just not doing crunch time shit, what good is Twitter at this point? Like, at least from the PS5 side, like, you have to do so much other shit. Like, what do you guys think about this?
Well, I'll go ahead. I was going to say, well, I'll break this news now. They're not, Sony, there is a way to get, they may not leave. And what you all need to do is, all you guys at Trophy Chase, y'all need to send in your trophy scores to Sony, and they'll send those to Elon Musk. And Elon Musk may give a damn about your trophies, and he may go ahead and let you all keep posting. But actually, it does not bother me. I've already DC'd, or how would you put it? Twitter is no longer part of that feed for me personally, and I'm, you know, and it's just too. I don't blame Sony or Microsoft for telling him to go kick rocks. It could just be a negotiation tactic. You know, so that's what I always say. This is what it looks like when billionaire companies are fighting. Sony did it with Disney a few years ago. I mean, they were fighting. So, and again, it's not like they hate each other. This is the way you negotiate. But we'll see ultimately if it ends up them doing that. But to me, Twitter's moving away from gaming anyway. So they're wanting more people to go to Facebook to up, you know, because you can get Facebook gaming channels now, and they're wanting. It seems like they want more people to start doing that. But we'll have to see what Musk decides, and in the end.
Yeah. Okay. I think again, it's one of those things. Like, listen, man, Elon, he spent $44 billion of his own money. Who am I to tell him what he's going to do with a fucking platform that he bought? It's his. He can do whatever he wants. But on the flip side of that, you got to realize you're trying to grow your platform, and some of the biggest interactions and engagements that you have is based off of gaming. And now you're charging these gaming companies that have millions and hundreds of millions of people in that ecosystem. You're taking, you're charging, mind you, these corporations, yeah, they got money. They can probably pay the fee. But goddamn, if they're already paying, let's say, $1 million a month, you're jacking the price up to $2 million a month. That's a lot. And if you look and saw the article that came up or the stipulations of where Twitter starts to charge these guys, it starts at 42,000. And if you look, like, if that's for the enterprise level, so these companies, they have a lot of engagement and stuff. So from what I read, there was like it's like $1 million a month, or up to $2 million a month. I'm pretty sure they're charging Microsoft, and they would have been charging Microsoft and Sony that amount of money. So it wasn't free before, but now I think the price has gotten out of hand. And who knows? Elon did tweet out saying that he'll look into it. It may be something that is not his hand per se is on that. Maybe he just let his team manage that. But we'll see what happens to that. I do think it sucks that we won't have the share the Twitter videos and your video clips and pictures and stuff like that, all your screenshots. I mean that's pretty much what I do all the time. I'm always posting whatever game I'm playing, posting screenshots and stuff like that off the PlayStation. I got that, we got that capability on the phone, so I still have a way to do it.
You could say there's still a way. It's just a convenience, right?
Yeah, it's just a convenience.
Like the on the spot moment.
Cool move. Yeah, this is a cool move. Let me post this real quick. It takes in 2 seconds, and then I continue playing. Now I'll just clip it, and then later on I'll just go back and post it to Twitter.
Upload it. Yeah. I don't. And it's not over yet. I mean, until you can't physically do it.
Well, it's November 13th. It's November 13th. They put a date.
Yeah, that's fine. And it wouldn't shock me if it got extended. Maybe they extended. But we'll see.
Keep in mind, Craig. They got this notice. They had got this notice from Twitter about the change in revenue in the splits and stuff. They got this notice a long time ago, up to a year ago. And that got Sony, I guess, gave them some time to get their shit together and add the capture app on the phone. That way you can they had a remedy. So the remedy is just use your phone to do all of that. That wasn't in place a year ago, 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
that's a new feature. So that came from that. So
Yeah.
No, but I will say this. I will say this. It started with Xbox. They stopped having that capability. So I'm assuming that number must have been astronomical for Microsoft to say, fuck that. These motherfuckers just ain't going to have that capability because we're not going to pay that. I mean, Microsoft got way deeper pockets than Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So if Microsoft's going to say no, then I'm pretty sure Sony's going to be like, hell no,
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
Can you still screenshot it and put it on YouTube? I assume you can.
YouTube is still connected.
You can still do YouTube. You can still do Twitch. You can still do a couple of other things.
What else is there?
The only thing that's changing is just Twitter. Everything else is there. Facebook and stuff like that. I think all that stuff is still there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But I'll be honest. From the reaction I'm seeing online on Twitter, most of the people have, they already stopped doing the post to Twitter. I'm a post to Twitter type of guy, but from what I see of the interactions, most people say that they already just use their phones as the capture thing in the first place. So we'll see.
Yeah. So I know some people brought up wondering because like a lot of these capture stuff is like good advertisement, right? You're pretty much getting free advertisement from gamers. Especially with the photo mode and stuff like that. Gamers really put in
the effort.
They put it, they put a good effort into the position, the lighting, and it makes the games really look good, right? So it's like, man, so this cost that to pay for integration must be so high that it's not even worth the free advertisement you get from gamers. Right, because I would think Sony or any company would look into that. Like, what's the risk reward stuff, right? Like, if you stop this integration, like how would that impact the amount of photos and videos that get uploaded, you know? And I think Sony's willing to risk, like, you know what? This to integrate costs way too much. It's just not worth it, even at the cost of seeing less PS5 shares and PS4 shares, which is pretty interesting. It's either that, but I'll be honest, I think and this is just guessing, and because this is just my view of looking at social media, if I think Sony was partial to a particular platform or platforms, I would probably bet that Sony's probably more partial to TikTok than Twitter. And the only reason why it's just my opinion on that is because generally when I look at PlayStation stuff on TikTok, there's a lot less negativity towards PlayStation than there is on Twitter. And I'm not saying there's not negativity, a lot less criticism. I think that's a better way to put it. Like, for example, like the showcase, majority of the gamers on Twitter love the showcase. While if you look at the Twitter side, it gets piled on. Like, even I didn't like the showcase. I didn't think it was a good showcase. But that's not, don't say that on TikTok. Don't you be going out there looking crazy, you know, saying that the showcase was bad on TikTok. You're going to get flamed, you know, you're going to get this work. So I was like, oh, snap. So it's just a different outlet on that side of the house. It's like two polar opposite. Oh, now we hear you. What's up? What's going on, Extreme? Welcome to the show.
I just upgraded things on Discord is annoying. Anyways, thank you.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. Thank you for showing up, brother. But back to the point, you know, yeah, I mean, it just seems like, I mean, like I said, I use this sparingly once in a while when something really catches my attention. Most of the time, I don't personally use it, but I did enjoy what I received from the community just looking at screen caps and stuff like that, right? And there's a lot of gamers on there that aren't part of the calm side that, you know, they enjoyed the screen shares and all that stuff. So it's like, man, is Twitter really looking like a good place for gamers and stuff like that? When, you know, it's pretty interesting. Hey, Extreme, what's going on, my brother?
Yo, hey, how are you guys doing?
How are you? How you doing in a down under?
It's hot. It's hot here.
It's hot. This is so weird. Cause it's getting colder than a motherfucker up in this.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Have the exact opposite side.
Yeah, that's
sweating bullets.
That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. This is like if my wife goes, hey, let's go to Australia for the summer. I'm like, all right, I'll get the tickets, I'll plan it out. And then I buy the tickets here, babe. I bought the tickets. She's like, the tickets are for December. I'm like, yeah. I said summer, you idiot. And I'm like, yeah. And she'll look at me like, my husband's gone crazy. He's fucking got crazy. You're going to send me to Australia when I'm freezing my ass off? I'm like, no. You said summer, right? Yeah. It's December. That will blow her mind. I don't think she knows either.
Well, the thing is, yeah.
Because they don't, I'll be honest, they don't teach that in the States.
What?
They don't. I don't think they teach like the world seasons. Nope. I don't remember ever getting that class. If I did, I probably played hooky.
Nah, they don't teach anything outside.
I play hooky a lot, so the odds are not in my favor. The odds, it's very high odds. I must have missed that class.
Well, the thing is,
hell,
February is our summer. So
is your summer? Look at it. Look at that shit. Yeah. That shit is fucking. You guys are ass backwards.
Yeah,
that is some ass like Christmas. So no Christmas. I mean, like that's like you're spending a summer in a Christmas summer. Yeah, that shit must be so awkward.
No, actually,
we get used to it.
Snow. The thing is, if you guys actually get proper snow, you have to shovel it, and I'm always like, how would that not ruin Christmas? Like, aesthetically, it looks nice though. Yeah,
but it's a lot of work to clean that sucker.
It is a lot of work,
and it's cold. So you're working in the cold. So you got all these layers where you're sweating and working. And you can't take it off because it's cold. It's like, yeah, it's so miserable. That's why I'm moving to Florida. You know? Oh, man. All right. Hey, what's your thought about Twitter integration being removed from the PlayStation brand? You know, PS5, PS4. Any thoughts on that?
I don't really think that there's much to say about it other than it sucks. Like, the only people that really lose out on is really us, the gamers, right?
Yeah.
You lose out on two things. Number one is the convenience of it, which of course you can bypass it if you want. But then the second thing is just like the hashtag itself, because you could, if you wanted to say community, postings about something, just put PS5 share and then the game that you're attached to, and then you knew immediately that you would get games from the community members, because so many of them were just uploading directly from PlayStation that it was just a really nice community thing to have. So, I don't know the finance. I'm sure it's a financial reason. Like, the Sony has no reason other than finance to not have a community service. So, I don't know exactly what Twitter decided to charge them, or if
some ridiculous amount.
Exactly.
Probably.
But I'm just like, yeah. But they probably looked at it like, hey, you guys are using our platform, and there's no one else like us that can offer the service. So we can probably upcharge as much as possible.
Sony said, no thanks. We're good. We got TikTok. We're good. TikTok's better anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
It just sucks.
I know. I mean, it depends on the game. Like, for me, I'll be honest. I will probably hardly ever post anything. Because, like, for me, like I said, I didn't post a lot. But it was very convenient when I did. Hit the share button, typed a couple of things, boom, sent it. Now you want me to save, like, save a picture, and then get off the gaming console, go to my phone, log into the PS app, which I hardly go to anyway. I don't go to the PS app much anyway. Really? What do you do on the PS app all the time?
Well,
I hardly use it.
Store, browse the store, see what deals are on. Certain people actually message me through PlayStation, if you believe it. Weed Neanderthals, but yeah, that does happen. But yeah, mostly it's just looking at the store or just managing my game library, like deciding which game I'm gonna play next. I like to actually see the games on the app, because I can see which games I have downloaded, and I can figure out how long to beat. It's very convenient.
I don't really do that. I do everything on a console. For the only time I probably use that app a few times was if I was interested in buying a game and I just so happened not to be at the house. Because normally if I'm interested in buying a game, I just go to my console. Yeah. I don't know. I hardly use the app. Like, it's convenient for certain things, but like overall,
I use it all the time. They've improved this significantly. So yeah. Anyways,
and the rewards. That's about it. The stars program. I use it more often for the stars program now, just to get the free stuff that I earned.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I don't actually like the PlayStation Stars integration. I still find it like a separate thing to the entire experience. Like, it's like, okay, now I'm going into Stars. It's not really well integrated.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways, like I do, like console management, you can delete your games off of the console from there if you wanted to. It's really cool. It's really cool. I really like it.
Okay. All right. So hey, let's do a quick sidebar topic real quick. It's so Jeff Keighley announced that this Monday, November 13th, the day, out of all days, the X integration ends on PlayStation. It's also the day that they'll go global live stream announcements of nominees for the Game Awards. More than 30 categories revealed live at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern.
We have a show to tell us what's going to be in the show.
To nominate, yeah. So show for the nominations. So they will announce the nominees live.
Those fanboys are gonna have a wet dream.
Oh man, it's gonna be pain that day.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're telling me that Starfield, if it doesn't get nominated,
it's gonna be live.
People mad.
It's gonna be live.
Why would they sign up for this?
Because you know how much pain. You kidding me? Starfield alone is gonna have like 10 billion people watching this. You listen, I will say this. You're gonna have a lot of people watching this, right? Obviously, generally, you're gonna have these groups, right? You're gonna have the group that generally is, enjoys the show and is interested on the nominees. They they legitimately appreciate what's being done. So that's one group.
Yeah.
The second group is the group that has a specific agenda, right? Yeah. They want certain games to make it to the nominee. So, for example, Starfield might be that one group. Baldur's Gate 3 is another group. Hogwarts Legacy guys might be another group. So everybody has their games they want to see, nominated, right? And then you have the final group, which is the group that hopes a certain game or certain games don't do it so they can start talking shit about it. So you're going to have a lot of groups paying attention to this. It's brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. You're going to get it from all sides. You got the actual crumb side gamers. You got the legit gamers. You got content creators that just will watch it just for the sake of having content on their platform, wherever they do their work on. So, but I'm telling you, man, there's going to be some pain that day. There's going to be some butt hurt. Oh, my God. Oh
mean,
my god,
Starfield
it's
may
gonna
get
be.
nominated. I don't know.
It's
I mean, it may get nominated. Who knows?
hey, there's a chance, right?
Yeah.
But really depends. Like if they stick to just 6 nominees for the Game of the Year category, it's gonna be very challenging because there's a lot of games that came out this year. This year, out of all the generation, out of all the award years, this is by far the most challenging that we've seen in a while.
Every game that has launched within the last month or so, even games that's launching like last week, they were still like getting high 80s, almost 90s, and it's like, damn, like
October by itself took out of like all of the game of the year. Like in any other year, October by itself would have had like all of the goatees. That was a good month.
Shit, so it's an interesting.
But can we keep it real though?
What's up?
There's the goatees, and then there's Starfield. Let's just put it out there. Let's go ahead and uncover. Let's uncover. The only thing is, and I think because somebody said this, well, they think Jeff Keighley or a award show will want a representative from every console maker there. And my thing is it's less to do with the console maker and more to do with the game, with the game's reception, the Metacritic score, and what the fans like and enjoy, right? And to spend their money on. That's kind of how it always been, and I get it. The last few years, things have kind of changed. They start to be a little bit more inclusive. That's how we ended up with It Takes Two winning the Game of the Year and stuff like that. They want to mix it up because they're tired of the same people winning the same stuff. I mean, Porter Rock, just a couple of shows ago, I think you went through that list of the who won the most Game of the Year awards. I think it was like Sony, right? Just dating way back, Sony always racked up at the Game Awards. But now everyone kind of said that Starfield is the game of the generation. They're trying to save face to at least be nominated, at least be in the conversation. Because it would look really bad for you to have 52 studios, all of these publishers, all of these developers, and have spent $100 billion within the last 4 or 5 years, and you don't have a single conversation topic at the table of the big boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if Spider-Man or Final Fantasy 16 don't win, right? It kind of doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it's up there in the upper echelon of gaming topics.
It's a talking point.
It's a talking point.
Like Horizon. Horizon didn't win, but guess what? Got a nominee. It was part of the conversation for Game of the Year.
Exactly. You always want to be part of the discussion. You don't want to be the kid in the back of the room just sitting there by yourself while everybody else is talking their stories and what happened and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. A lot of people seem to think that the award show is gonna like give. You think it's gonna pity?
I don't think so.
I don't. I hope they don't pity, because you know how many developers this year have put out great fucking games that were real well received. You got Alan Wake 2 came out of nowhere, right? And you got, we knew Mario Wonder was going to do good, but that kind of came out, and did really good. You already know the Zeldas and the Spider-Mans too. Those were no-brainers. We knew those were going to be GOTY class games. But you just keep having game after game after game that keeps coming out, and it's high quality. Everybody's talking about it. Baldur's Gate 3, who the hell would have figured that, right? Would have came out and got the highest rated game this year. Who would have figured that? It's a great fucking game. And if it wins, which I'll be honest, I think it should win. It's one of those games that's not there every year or every time. It came out of nowhere. It's a small team. I think they deserve it. If you're going to give somebody pity, give it to them. But don't discard Alan Wake 2. Don't discard some of the other games that have come out that have scored higher than Starfield, that not are only rated, but so higher than Starfield. And actually, people will literally spend $70 of their money, not in a fucking free in a subscription service. And that is a whole nother thing if you want to get into that discussion. Because I honestly think, like, back in the day when there was albums and CDs and tapes, people actually had to go to the store, spend $15 of their hard-earned money, and buy a album, a disc, or a tape, right? That's different than today. A person fucking streams it on iTunes or Spotify. It's not the same. It's not the same. So you get a million streams. It's not the same as somebody driving to Blockbuster Music or Warehouse Music or whatever and going standing in line and buying a full album. That's two totally different. But I know people these days like to equate it, but it's not the same. Subscription is not the same as someone spending the full money on that. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be
up. But I'll just add real fast. Yeah, subscriptions that go up. I'll add Sea of Stars and Hogwarts. I don't know how. Like I said last week, Hogwarts for the first 3 to 4 months of 2023, as far as gaming, was the dominant game. Like, everybody was talking about it. So I think it gets nominated. But I know this is a sidebar. But yeah, I think Nintendo, one of their 2 games gets knocked out. I think they keep Zelda. I think they'll keep that one. But I do think Starfield pushes the Mario game out for like what J-Dub was just talking about, for just the everybody being there, everybody staying tuned in. They don't want another 2020 where The Last of Us was nominated. I think Ghost of Tsushima was not. I think this is going back. There was multiple Sony games nominated, and they actually did get lower ratings because people are like, well, if you play on Xbox, there was nothing to watch for, So I do think just on that alone, and I think Starfield did sell well the opening month, maybe opening 5 weeks. I know right now, at least on PC, it's dying, and it's dying because Star Citizen is now it took them a decade, but the game is playable. Like, it's no more trialing. The game can actually be played, and you got people with, it supports VR. You have people with gaming rigs with the chairs. Like people have the driving setups. There's people with simulator, like plane setups, simulator setups, and they're playing Star Citizen. So it is what it is. It's more political. And Keeley, I give anybody credit that gaming show was it was on his deathbed, and he put his own money, put his own neck on the line to get investors to come in there, and he did it. So I'll shout out to him and hats off to him. But I do think there needs to be another gaming award show to compete with his. It may not have to be as big, but put it on like an access network, like FX or something like that. But that's what I see happen. I agree with what J-Dub said, that for the sake of camaraderie, like when Phil Spencer and Reggie and Leighton were up on stage a few years ago, calling for what they were calling for. Of course, you had people saying, "Well, they ain't talking about me," which exactly means that's exactly who they were talking about. So, but I think this, for the sake of that, you'll get Starfield, Spider-Man, Alan Wake. I think gets in there, but I think the game that gets the shaft is the Mario game, which is still one of the best games out. It's still one of the best games out. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna put. So I think in terms of getting snubbed, I don't think it's just simply a decision. I think or just picking a game, because the way it works is all the panel members, right? All the panel members, whatever count. Let's say if there's 50, 100, I don't know how many panel members, but across the industry, every game is eligible for every game is eligible for every category, right? They get a list of games. The only disqualifier is the date, right? And I think it's November 17th. I think they locked it. Like, any game released after November 17th doesn't count for this year's award. But any game from last year's cutoff. So let's say if last year's cutoff was November 15th. That means if a game came out from November 16th last year up to November 17th this year, all those games count for everything, right? So the first round is, we'll use game of the year. So let's say you got all these games. They'll just tell each person, pick your top. Let's say if the count is 6, they'll tell them pick your top 6. Each individual, voter will pick their top 6 for game of the year. It could be anything. It could be games we don't even expect, whatever, right? It's just whatever. Whatever they write down is what they write down. Then they tabulate it, right? Between, they add it all up and tally. The games that receive the top 6, mentions, those are your nominees, right? So to really put Starfield, you would have to get, a lot of people to write Starfield as that top 6. But when you think about it, and I understand saying feel sorry for Starfield, but that person would have to be like, I feel sorry for Starfield, but then they would have to have the, I don't know how to put it, the intestinal fortitude or to snub somebody that they feel deserve better. So let's say if it was me, right? And I got my top 5 and I'm thinking, damn, the 6th spot I need to give to Starfield. But in my mind, I'm thinking, damn, but Hogwarts is such a better game. I would have to go against my own personal integrity just to feel sorry for Starfield. And I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think developers are going to feel sorry. I think they're going to I think the people who legitimately put Starfield as their nom legitimately feel Starfield is one of the 6. The question is, do enough people put down Starfield for it to be one of the top 6 when everything gets tallied? When everything gets tallied, does Starfield get enough mentions across the developers? I don't think there's going to be a developer that prefers and thinks, like, let's say, a developer that feels, damn, Jedi Survivor really deserves a nom, but I'm going to get a steal Starfield because I feel sorry for Starfield. I don't think any developer or any of the members feel sorry. If they put Starfield, it's because they legitimately feel Starfield should be among the stuff, right? Because I don't think they're going to purposely screw somebody or screw a game over that they feel should be there, but they're just going to do it. I don't think that's the case, But I do say this. If they really want Starfield or any game, right? If they want certain games to minimize being snubbed, I think the only way to do it, and I think this is the only way Keighley can have any influence, is to say, hey, this year we're going to have 9 nominations. That to me is because now you open the box for more games to be part of the nominations. If it sticks to 6, if it stays at 6, I don't think Starfield's going to get enough mentions. But if he opens up to like 8, now, you could get some mentions.
If he does that though,
you
know what everybody's gonna say. Everybody's gonna say he only did it to include Starfield.
Oh yeah, I said that.
I said that. It's that pity. Like,
I said
I'm
that.
gonna be honest. I wouldn't want a Sony game. And I'm a PlayStation guy, but I wouldn't want a Sony game to get a pity vote. I want the best of the best to be there and to win. Let the best man win. And if that's not a Sony game, it's not a Sony game. But I don't want to just. And here's the thing: there's more than one Game Awards. Of course, the Game Awards is the biggest one, but there's more than that, right? But there's multiple categories. So I mean, Starfield may fit in as a RPG. Well, not even really that. It'll fit in somewhere. The space.
It could get an RPG, right? Like certain categories, because it's less restrictive. Like, for example, Starfield could legitimately get RPG Game of the Year, because in that case,
got that. Well,
but not win. But it could get a nom because now you're specifically targeting RPGs. So Mario, Spider-Man, that has nothing to do with that category.
Yeah.
Now you're just looking at specifically RPGs. It could easily get a category, things like that. So certain categories is more restrictive than others. So Game of the Year, any game, even the indies, like Sea of Stars, any game can be picked. Any game can be picked.
You know what's crazy, Puerto Rock?
Mm.
Pretty much every year a Forza comes out, they always win Sports Game of the Year. This will be the first year that fucking Forza won't win Sports Game of the Year.
Oh, man.
That tells you how, like, can you imagine? Forza doesn't get nominated for Sports Game of the Year or doesn't win Sports Game of the Year, and Starfield doesn't make it. And I don't know, but do you think Hi-Fi Rush even has a chance? Or
that could be like indie. It got a good. It got a good. Well, think about it. How many indies are out there that, let's say, from a meta perspective?
Sea of Stars.
That's one. That's just one. That's just one.
No, it's quite a few indies.
The fact that you can name them proves ain't that many. Right now, you know, Steel Stars, and I think about it,
Star,
and not
Star Oceans.
that's not an indie. That's not an indie. That's not an indie.
Oh,
And that's not gonna
not an
get
indie?
that's no, and that's like a
Okay, that's
remake.
not good.
Yeah, that's not
When we're talking about games,
right now.
there's very few.
Right? No, so I'm talking about like for nominations, right? So right now we
For just
the
indie section.
yeah, just indie section, like for best indies of the year, right? Right off the top of our heads, Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Stars is like the headliners, because Hi-Fi Rush was
Hi-Fi
generally
Rush isn't
good
indie.
received. What?
Yeah,
Hi-Fi Rush is an indie. They have
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's not an indie. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, because Microsoft
Yeah,
owns
Microsoft
studio?
is a publisher. Like that's how indies work.
Oh yeah. So
It's
then
not
so
an indie.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
it's
that
an indie-like game, but it's not
Yeah.
an indie.
so that's a good question.
Last year,
There's Cult of the
Yeah.
Lamb,
last year,
kind
the,
of.
the indie nominees was Stray, Neon White, Sifu, and Tunic, and Stray won it last year.
Yeah.
So there's like those are four indies. So maybe Hi-Fi Rush can. I mean, I don't know, maybe. But
It
again,
was,
like
but
you
but
said,
it's an 88
by
Metacritic, so
Microsoft.
it's 88 Metacritic, so it got a good score. So it's not like it's not like a lot of 90 plus indies came out this year. I think the only one is Sea of Stars, right? Am I correct, Extreme?
I think Sea of Stars definitely got the 90 plus.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, was Cult of the Lamb this year? Because that also made waves.
I don't remember. It sounds like, I think it feels like it is this year. Hey, chat, Cult of the Land came out this year? Because that was another one.
No, because no, it came out last year because I had it last year.
Okay.
Oh, so then, yeah, forget. You see? Oh, yeah, last year.
This year, I think it was just Sea of
I
Stars.
had it last year
because-
when it
because
came
of,
out on
like,
the Switch.
notable
Yeah.
waves.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Hi-Fi Rush got a...
It could be, but do you think bots will be okay with accepting of indie of the year and not in the big boy category?
They better take what they can get. What the hell you mean gonna be okay? You don't have a choice. Take the win. A win's a win. Man, a win's a win.
Oh, fuck me.
Man, listen, hold on. Don't ruin the conversation now. Don't ruin the conversation. Don't ruin the conversation now.
I'm fair and balanced, right? I'm like Fox News. I'm fair and balanced.
Don't.
I honestly, I mean, again, Starfield is not going to make the cut, and I think maybe Hi-Fi Rush will on the indie.
No,
I think Hi-Fi Rush.
If they,
Hi-Fi Rush
if
isn't an
they,
indie.
Still in denial
No,
about
hold on.
Starfield.
No,
You really.
oh my god,
I know.
Before I let you go,
Denial about
because I
Starfield.
don't even want to
That's what we
engage the
doing?
conversation after you go.
Hold up.
I
You
wanna say
think?
something.
Wait, go ahead.
Let
I
me,
would say
yeah,
something.
let,
Even if there were 8 nominations, Starfield doesn't deserve to be.
I agree. It's just too many. It's just too many.
Even if they
higher
were
Metacritic,
like this,
better
this has
game.
been this year.
Listen,
And the thing is, Starfield has done nothing other than either be garbage or mediocre.
Oh,
Exactly.
I want
Like
to
it has
know-
done
I want
nothing
to
better
know-
than that.
It was
No,
hyped
no,
up
let
as
me
being
finish.
Skyrim
Because like I
and
said, Baron, I can't have a conversation with you. By the time you talk,
only
I
have
just
one
want to
question because we argued about this 1,000 times already. Why did I not hear all of this when Death Stranding got nominated? I didn't hear none of y'all say none of this shit.
Because
when
Death Stranding is a
got
better walking
nominated.
simulator than Starfield.
because it was a big
It has
boy
vehicles.
and it was
Death
nominated
Stranding
for
has
Game of the
vehicles.
Year. It was one of the
Why
Death
best
Stranding
games
doesn't
ever
require
made.
you to
saying
load a
this
loading screen every time you move
and
from
after
inside
Death
to outside.
Stranding got nominated.
I just
What do you
answered
mean?
Y'all
What
do
you mean,
realize-
Darren?
This is
What do you
why,
mean?
this is
What
why
I
I said
mean?
I wanted to just get my point.
What do you mean?
Can I finish my point and then I'll just let you.
What do
guys
you? What do
have
you?
it?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
look, go ahead. Let him go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
what I was gonna say is that this year, when we're talking about Game of the Year games are to an echelon and to a standard wherein you don't need to play the game yourself. You can just see it and recognize that there is something great here. Like
Yes.
you didn't need to play Sea of Stars to just look at it and be like, oh, this is going to be like an amazing retro style RPG. You don't need to play Alan Wake 2 to look at it and be like, whoa, there is something special going on in this game. Like that's what the Game of the Year conversation is. Even if you haven't played Spider-Man 2 and you've just looked at trailers, which by the way, I will always say, you can judge games from looking at trailers. There are certain things you can't talk about, like the gameplay, but you can look at the game because that's what the trailer is for. And then you can tell, is this going to be something special? If you can't do that, you're not a good enough gamer yet. You need to get your experience up. So again, when we're talking about game of the year caliber games, these are things that you can smell coming from a mile away. You're like, this is a special game. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 yet, and yet when I look at it, I'm like, whoa. When I hear the conversation around it, I'm like, that looks cool. That is awesome. I can't tell you if that's going to click with me, but I can definitely say I see why people are saying this is the front runner for Game of the Year. Even when I look at Nintendo products, when I look at Super Mario Wonder, or especially Breath of the Wild, sorry, Tears of the Kingdom, again, that is something that it just smells like that, like high quality, like German manufactured, brand new high end sports car leather. Like that's what it smells like, just right away. And then when you turn to Starfield, you immediately smell like a dumpster at the back of an alley. It hasn't been cleaned out in years. It's festering. It's got like its whole population of bacteria going on. Like you can make yogurt out of it. That's what you get when you catch a whiff of Starfield. It's just it's disgusting. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, listen.
Well, okay. All right, I got you, but
it doesn't deserve. Now, let me answer your question before I let you go. Before I let you go, let me answer your question.
You answered it. I mean, you answered.
No. Why wasn't Death Stranding like given the same thing? Because Death Stranding is a game with a specific vision that actually achieved its vision. It's just that vision was for a niche audience. But when you take a look at Starfield,
that's new to me.
Where I said, hey, you can go and explore wherever you want. And then you find out that there's menus, tiles, and loading screens. And that's most 99% of the exploration that you do. You understand that even for the niche audience that it was targeting, it didn't deliver on its goals. Because if you're one of those people in denial about the fact that we are loading every single time we move from outside to inside, like it's a game from fucking 2002, then what do you want us to do? It is a game that is 20 years old in design. It's not even that it's next gen. It's not even last gen. We were not loading in and out the screen of doors and environments when we were playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Like it is literally PS3 standard.
That's true.
Like again, it's not a game that delivers on its own promise. When he said you can go anywhere you want, when what was the name? The guy that just left, like Pete Hines or whatever. And he said that, walk on Explorer. You can walk all the way around the planet if you want to. And that was a straight up lie. You can't even walk 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
You're going to run into an invisible wall.
Exactly. You're going to run into an invisible wall. Then you generate a tile only to find out your previous tile.
And then,
exactly.
And then
you spend more time in the menus than you do actually exploring the world organically. I don't know why Spider-Man 2 even has a fast travel system. Because you literally fly around the map so quickly and you have such fun doing it with 100% control the entire time.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. That's what 2023 should bring. So, like I said, Starfield is a pile of garbage and it should not be mentioned. It should barely even be nominated for RPG of the Year. Like, it should only technically be nominated because I guess they have to fill 5 slots, but that's a PT nomination in RPG. There's better RPGs out there, and Sea of Stars is literally a better star exploring game than Starfield is. Absolutely. It has more interesting planets.
Okay, I got you. That's pretty much what you've been saying for the last few months, but
because I've been right for the last few months.
I mean, we're not going to change our views on Starfield. We're just on.
Let's.
I'm gonna say this. So wait, hold up. So because you. Right.
What?
No, because I was gonna bring up a point about the whole Death Stranding thing, right? So the year Death Stranding for the Game Awards, these were the nominees, right? You have Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, and The Outer Worlds, right? So Death Stranding, its meta was 82. Control meta was 82. And Outer World, its meta was 85, right? So now compare that to this year, right? The categories this year. Look at right off the bat. We got Tears of the Kingdom, right, with 96. right? Baldur's Gate 3 with 96, right? Alan Wake 2, right? What's Alan Wake 2? Alan Wake 2 is a 89 already, right? Street Fighter is a 92, right? So these are just 90s, right? Yeah. Resident Evil 4 remake is a 93. So that's 5 right there. I haven't even got to Spider-Man, right? You know what I'm saying? If I were to keep going, Sea of Stars, 90. It's a 88. Okay. Going down. I know people keep mentioning Cyberpunk, but I don't think that's gonna count, right? Marvel Spider-Man is a 90. Is a 90. Hold up. 90. You know what I'm saying? 90. Wait, Sea of Stars. I think I read the wrong score for Sea of Stars. No, it's 88. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So like that's just page 1 of the Metacritic. That's page 1. By the time even Hi-Fi Rush has a higher meta. It's at 87, right? Yeah. What else? We're going down to Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16, 87, right? Yep. Like in order to reach all the way down to Starfield, I'm going to
the bottom.
I mean, even was it Octopath Traveler 2 was this year, right?
Exactly.
That's this year. That's 80. You know what I'm saying? That's even higher. Yeah. Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor. Like there is a shit ton of competitive games, you know, this year.
And all of those games is better than Starfield.
I mean, I'm not even gonna go to better. It's like because this is the reality for the voting, and I mentioned this already, right? Mm-hmm. What the way they do it is every game that came out this year, or every game that came out the day after the deadline last year. So whatever that day was, let's assume it was November 15th, right? Let's say November 15th, 2022 was a cutoff. So that means any game that came out after November 15th, all the way up to this year's cutoff, every single game in that group qualifies. So then the rule is, depending on how many nominations, let's assume 6, they're going to tell every single voting member, pick your 6. Just pick your 6. Doesn't matter what it is. They're not going to tell them the list. It just has to be a game within that threshold. So they're going to write down 6. Then they're going to insert their 6 in probably in the computer system to make it easier. Then the 6 will tabulate everything that picked. In order for Starfield to be a nominee, it has to have enough tally. Enough people have to put it in their top 6. So that way it could say, these are the top 6 of the nominees. Once those nominees are presented, then they take those specific nominees and go back to the voters and they say, hey, based on these 6, pick what you think is the game of the year overall. So the key for Starfield is you have to have a certain amount of voters that feel Starfield is better than the other games that are out there. That's really what, and some will put Starfield, right? It's just whether there's enough that feel Starfield will be added to that. That's really what comes down to it. That's all it is. It's how many people put Starfield enough to get one of the 6 slots, right? So you're gonna have like between Baldur's Gate and Zelda, that's gonna be 1 and 2. They're gonna get the lion's shares of the vote. Majority of the people, I can't see anybody not putting Zelda on the list, and I really can't see the majority. The majority is gonna put Baldur's Gate. The majority is gonna put Zelda. That's just flat out. That's just how it is. So those 2 spots are locked. Zelda and Baldur. Now you got to throw in Mario Wonder. I haven't even shit. What did Mario Wonder get? That's another big hitter, right?
Yeah. Mario Wonder.
It was a big ass 93. So
yeah. So, but think about it. So now think about it. How many people are really not going to put Mario Wonder as a Game of the Year nominee?
Just for Starfield.
I'm asking Baron.
So it's going to be there. That's going to be.
Oh, so that's 3. That's 3 slots. That's 3 slots already. 3. You got 3 left. 3 left.
Okay.
Right? How many people you really think are not going to put Spider-Man as a nominee? You really think? You really think a lot of people? So that's 4.
It's plausible.
So now you're down to 2. Hold on. So Spider-Man's plausible, but you're looking at us crazy when we say Starfield. Man, you know what? Next topic. You fucked it up. You fucked that. You fucked your whole. Listen, don't be a lawyer. Stick to wrestling. You fucked that whole up. It's plausible Spider-Man not get it.
waiting for
But
you
it-
to finish. That's all I'm
You know what I'm
waiting
saying?
for.
But I'm
He's
saying,
a horrible Xbox guy.
That's all I'm waiting you to
man,
do.
Barry, just stick to Nintendo, man. Leave the Xbox shit alone, man. Leave that shit alone, bro. You know what I'm saying? Leave that. All we're saying is there is an insane. There's an insane amount. I'm just saying. Last point. There is an insane. There is an insane lot of games out there that that voters, they're gonna pick the top 6, and there is a lot of choices out there. A lot of big, and we're not even talking about Diablo 4. That's another 90+ game. Like shit. That's just a lot. But anyway, make your case.
Oh shit! Go ahead, man.
Okay, I'm just glad you said all that because it kind of plays into everything that I was pretty much talking about. You talked about all those games that have those scores, but for some reason people seem to forget about the games that scored pretty high in 2019 when Death Stranding took a spot that it did not deserve. For some reason, people forget Astral Chain. For some reason, people forget Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Some even people forget that we also had Devil May Cry 5. Some people also forgot that Kingdom Hearts 3 also came out then as well. Some people forgot that we had Mortal Kombat 11. These are just a few of the games that Death Stranding took a spot from that were absolutely some of the best games of that motherfucking year. And y'all are sitting up here telling me that, it's all going to change drastically this year just because it's Starfield. No, it's the same motherfuckers that's been voting that voted for Death Stranding over those games I just named you.
Death Stranding is a
Not
better
one
game.
of you can tell me Death Stranding is better than any of those fucking games I just listed.
Death Stranding is a better game than any of than Asshole Chain and the rest of them games you named. It is.
God.
It just
100%.
literally is.
I remember
Anybody
he
with some
said it was going to
common
be
sense that
Jimmy.
ain't named J-Dub.
Okay.
No, Emperor.
What about
is
M?
better than those
Oh
games.
shit!
Yo.
Come on in, Blaze.
No. Yo,
Blaze, what's up, Blaze?
what's up,
Hey.
Baron? Listen, you know what's funny, J-Dub, is I had Baron on Solidcast. This is like 2 years ago, Solid Rev's channel, and he was telling me Astro Chain about to come out, Platinum Games, they were going to be Game of the Year. And I never get to catch that fade with you.
Facts.
Bro, they didn't even get nominated, brother. Where you at?
Get nominated.
Hold up. So let me mention a point. Let me mention a point. Let me mention. So hold up.
Listen.
Hold up. Wait. Let me bring up a point.
It didn't get nominated.
Let me bring up a point. Let me bring up a point because I went to. In fact, let me.
Of being nominated like the rest of the games I
No,
listed.
so let me put this in perspective because you're saying it's wrongfully listed out. So this site tracks like all the publications or whatever that gives. No. This provides every publication that has like an awards, and this site, whoever runs it, tracks it and adds it to the count. So in 2019, Death Stranding was the definitive overall winner of Game of the Year awards. It won a total of 469. It was the number one game for that year for an awards. So it wasn't a one-off for the award show. In fact, the award show was in line with pretty much the rest of the industry.
I didn't say it was a one-off.
Exactly.
You just said you said it.
You're just
You
saying
said
you're wrong.
you just
You're
you just
literally
said you
saying
just
the
said
entire
you
industry.
no listen. You just said that it stole spots from others, but in reality it didn't because pretty much across the board, the industry felt Death Stranding's the game of the year. Just like I used 2017, Zelda, pretty much across the board in 2017, Zelda was the definitive game of the year. Same thing in 2018 for God of War. It was pretty much definitive. Look at even Takes Two in 2021. It wasn't just the Game Awards that gave it Takes Two game of the year. It was pretty much generally the industry. You know what I'm saying?
We do understand that this little group that vote on it is kind of the same people that work for these publications you talk about.
But no, listen, but that's my point what I'm trying to say. Even if you're trying to say that's my point what I'm trying to say. So if you're trying to say, listen, let me put it this way. Do you feel all right, so here's my question. Do you feel so let's say, do you feel collectively people are just gonna pick Starfield as game of the year and just gonna run away with game of the year in the industry?
I really do. They are.
Wait, you are so hold up.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
This guy. Stick to the
Y'all
Nintendo,
don't
bro.
like Starfield, but they like Starfield.
Who's they?
That's the difference.
Who's they?
That's the difference.
Who's they?
Wait, didn't IGN
The reviewers, they like Starfield. Y'all the motherfuckers that didn't like Starfield.
No, listen. Here's the problem. Here, no. See, so this is where you messed up because you're using it as a personal. Oh, you just don't like it. This has nothing to do with how we feel. You clearly don't like Death Stranding. Guess who ran away with the awards? So I'll be honest. I don't really like Death Stranding. Listen, I don't really like Death Stranding. I don't really like it. The only thing I liked was the chiral network, but for the most part, I say it's a FedEx simulator.
Oh my god. Nah,
it is. It's a FedEx simulator.
Yo, P-Rock.
But it's one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, you out your mind. Listen, the one thing I respect about the game was that chiral network. I'm like, man, this shit, like if somebody could take that concept and blow it up to a new game, that shit would be fantastic. But for the most part, I'm like, I'm delivering packages.
It's not for everybody.
When you say it's a FedEx,
it's not.
For me,
it's not.
That is just truth.
It is. It's literally. His name is Sam Porter. He's a porter. He delivers shit. That's literally
exactly
the
game. Like,
yes.
It is not a diss to say that it's a FedEx simulator. It is the best FedEx simulator you could imagine. Like I said, it's a very niche vision of what it is that
there's a lot more to
but
that
it
game.
Delivers within the confines of
I mean,
scope.
you could balance and spray, instant rust. I wish.
I love that shit.
I would say, like Death Stranding, like to me, they could have done some things to make it better, like make it like more, like have the place with more cities that you have to go through and try to survive.
Yeah,
like
the cities could have been better.
Yeah, they could have been better. Like the few times you have to go inside the ruins.
Basically, it should have been a better game. That's
okay.
What you're telling me.
No, for me, for me. But listen.
I already know that part.
Listen, but for me, you understand what I'm saying? I just because you make it seem like I'm fanboying for Death Stranding. I already said I really didn't like the game much, right? But guess what?
I just don't understand. The only thing I'm saying, Porter, I understand what your stance is on Death Stranding. You said it's his day one. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand how y'all can understand what happened with Death Stranding in 2016. A game that absolutely was not deserving of that spot. But y'all can't understand why Starfield
No. Here's the thing. No. So besides that, I'm gonna tell you. So I'm going to explain to you the reason why Death Stranding got a spot in the Game Awards, because generally they look. I'm showing you right on the screen. Not only now, I'm saying listen, but I'm saying listen what I'm trying to explain to you. Not only did it get that game won, but it actually won it, and it won in other places. The industry generally felt Death Stranding is the game of the year. I don't think the industry generally feels Starfield is going to be game of the year or worth it. I just don't, especially with the other games out there.
That year? What was the competition?
That's what I put. The competition with like Control. I didn't even realize Control was a nominee. I like Control, but I was like, whoa, that's like low on the list. All right. So these were the nominees. These were the nominees for that. It was Control. Control.
I don't.
I'll tell you. Even I couldn't even remember, but it was Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, and the Outer Worlds. I don't know how Sekiro didn't win. I'll be honest, but
Sekiro did win. I thought.
Well, Sekiro did win. It did win.
No. Sekiro won at the Game Awards.
At the Game Awards. Oh, okay. It won at the Game Awards.
They gave Death Stranding every other fucking award on the planet, which was stupid.
As it should.
Yeah.
As it should.
The fact of the matter is that it took up a spot from games.
No. Hold on, Byron. You can't keep going this hard at Death Stranding. Did you play it?
No, he didn't.
Look, no, I didn't play that fucking shit.
Okay. No, hold on. Then how can you keep going so hard?
Not a burning day in hell would you catch me playing that fucking garbage.
Baron hadn't played.
Never in the fucking niggerdom would you see me playing.
Oh shit!
Baron didn't
I have respect for my damn self.
Listen,
Baron hadn't even played Starfield.
You clearly don't.
All right, all that.
Wait.
All that.
Did you play Starfield?
Let me.
No.
So Blaze.
Wait, no. Hold on. Did you play Starfield?
All right, hold on, real quick. Let me pay the bills. I gotta respect the chat. Let me respect the chat. Hold up, people. Hey, wait. I gotta respect the chat. Let me head up. Let me get these super chats out the way. Let me respect the members. Let me respect the people. Thank you so much. SK Forever, he said, dímelo, maní, que lo que? That's my Dominican brother. What's going on, my brother, man? Aquí tranquilo, loco. Then we got Blue Jay up in here. He says, Mexican pulling up, showing love, bring the fuego. Oh, yeah, you can already see this is getting heated. I don't know why. You know, Baron's a terrible Xbot. Like, absolutely terrible. Like, yo, like you need to leave. You need to like stick
to Nintendo drone, not an
yeah,
Xbox.
leave. Like, stick to Nintendo. They actually deliver quality. I don't know why you keep. I don't know. Maybe Nintendo makes it too easy for him. He wants to challenge. I don't know.
Yeah,
we got
winning.
We got
winning.
you know like he's a sole winner.
They are very dominating, but
Yeah, so like maybe he wants a challenge. Like, bro, like Xbox can't be helped. Majid Bell, Starfield does not deserve even a mention with the Game of the Year conversation. Getting a shout out for diversity in Xbox tiers is pathetic. Blue Jay, Jedi Survivor needs a nom instead of Starfield. And we got True Virgil. You boys are bigger ponies than a Genuine song. Come write it. Oh shit. Damn. And then SNK. Imagine Siphon Filter being directed by Kojima. That would be interesting.
Lord.
That would be interesting, boy.
Yo, but P-Rock, can I just say one thing? If you
Go ahead.
think
Of
Phil
course,
Spencer's gonna
absolutely.
if you think Phil Spencer's about to sit in that crowd for another fucking year and not have a game up there, y'all out of your mind, bro.
He's gonna have he's gonna have Hi-Fi Rush for India.
Bro,
of the
he
year.
is not
They don't
sitting
get
in
it,
that
bro.
crowd. Yo, he's not gonna sit in that
don't
crowd
get
with a smile on his face without that game. Like, it's gotta be there. I don't care if they
I'm
pay
telling
for it. It's gotta be there.
I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be. I'm just saying this Monday. Ooh, man, it's gonna be. Holy shit!
What is your official picks for the 6?
I don't
'Cause
know.
I can tell
So-
you mine off.
Let's start. We'll go down the road. And first, I want to say to our audience, shout out. We got Blaze 4K and the Emperor Baron, who's 0-52 in wrestling right now. So just they dropped on the podcast. Anyway, we'll start with Blaze. Blaze, what are your top 6? If it was 6, what you think is your top 6? That will make it.
Oh, it's
I
going
can't-
to be 6. They're not going to change it.
Listen, I can't give you 6, but I can give you 1, and that's Spider-Man. That's it.
Thank you.
Oh shit, that's what I'm talking about.
That's-
Sony baby, that's it. That Blaze.
What game's better than you, though?
Let me give you mine. I'll give you mine.
Oh, Lord.
Shut up, hold on. Shout out to Blaze. He said we don't need to talk about 6. It's Spider-Man and the conversation.
Exactly.
Everything else, why? Why are we talking about noms? Let's talk about witness. No, I'm gonna say this. It's not gonna happen. Well, it's low chance. But if Spider-Man somehow to one game of the year, Baron, oh my God, listen. The day you debut on your wrestling match, all of a sudden the lights is gonna go out. You're gonna see the Puerto Rican flag flash in the background, and I'm gonna be there in my leotard. Right? I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna be your opponent, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna run it, and I'm gonna do it old school. I'm gonna run in like the Ultimate Warrior. Just run in the ring, hit you 3 times, pump you, lift you up, slam you, 1, 2, 3, and then run right the fuck out. And people be like, "Who the fuck was that?" Boy, do not let Spider-Man win that shit. No, but I doubt it though. But that's funny. But shout out to Blaze, bro. That's what I love about Blaze. Sony baby. All right, J-Dub. What are your top 6?
Top 6. Number 1, of course, going to be Spider-Man. Number 2, Final Fantasy 16, of course.
Oh shit.
Followed by 3. I guess I'll go ahead and give it to. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give it to Baldur's Gate 3, of course.
Just give it.
Yeah,
This guy
go
said,
ahead and give
it sounds like it's a pity. It sounds like it's a pity award.
Look, it is, and get them 2 Nintendo shits. The rest of it, and that's it.
Oh. All right. Okay. He said give them 2 shits.
Yeah, because
All right. Extreme. What about you?
Are
If
we
you-
doing
if you-
our personal ones?
No.
or-
Guess.
Okay.
Guess. Just a guess.
Fuck it. Give it-
Just a
give it-
guess.
Okay. Yeah,
Just a
yeah,
guess.
the
What
ones
you
that should be
think?
up there.
What you think might be?
Yeah, the ones that should be out there. In alphabetical order, by the way, just to be diplomatic. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3,
Baldur's Gate 3.
Hogwarts Legacy, Sea of
Hogwarts
Stars,
Legacy. Sea of
Spider-Man
Stars.
2,
Spider-Man
Tears of
2.
the Kingdom.
Holy shit! This guy. Holy cow! Damn! Y'all didn't even give me enough time to make shit up. Like right now, I'm flabbergasted right now. So all right. So for me, I think the top 3. I think Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, and Super Mario Wonder is going to be there. Everybody loves Mario. You know, they just love that motherfucker. So I think those 3 are going to take. The bottom 3, I think Spider-Man's going to take one. I think it was well received. That's number 4. Number 5, I think Alan Wake might pull it. It might pull an upset. And then number 6.
Come on, Puerto Rock. Come on, man. Go ahead. Come on, Puerto Rock.
Number 6, I think.
Come on, Puerto Rock.
Number 6, this is going to be my fanboy in me, but I personally think Hogwarts Legacy is going to be that. It's going to sneak right in. It's going to sneak right in. You know?
Hogwarts fan.
No, that game is good. I'm not a Hogwarts. I'm not a Harry Potter fan by any means, but that game is good. That game impressed me. You know, that game impressed me, right? So that's it. All right, Baron, what about you? What about your picks?
There's not going to be a situation where you have games that are rated well over a 90 not getting nominated. So that's automatic. Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Those are automatics. That's
automatic.
You're not going to debate that. It's just,
okay.
It's just not going to happen.
Okay. So okay.
But the other 3 is where it gets dicey.
How?
I'm
according to your own rule.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. Huh?
According to your own rule you just made up, Spider-Man should be there. You said there's no game.
Yep.
You gonna let me finish my list or what?
I just want to make sure you're consistent. Like you literally came up with a rule.
Of course,
you have to be quiet before you got to be quiet and let me finish though.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. We'll listen. What's the next 3? We got Tears of the Kingdom. Wait, just to be clear, Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Wonder, and Baldur's Gate 3. Okay,
Yes.
got it. So the next 3.
I don't think in the history of any Game Awards, anything that was well over 90 never got nominated. So those are automatic.
Okay.
Now here's where we get a little bit of dicey because we got a lot of games grouped in this little 87 to 90 range. But I will tell you this. It's going to be one or the other, and I'm going to go with Spider-Man.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 16 or Spider-Man is going to make it. Both of them are not going to make it. It's going to be
which one?
I think it's going to be Spider-Man.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Spider-Man because
He said
you need
both.
2 things.
Yeah.
You need 2 things. You need critical acclaim on a critical level, and you need, commercial acclaim on a sales level. Spider-Man got both. So Spider-Man will get in there before Final Fantasy 16 get in there.
Final Fantasy 16 doesn't deserve to be there. It didn't have black people.
It didn't have black people.
It didn't have black people. It doesn't deserve to be Game of the Year.
Oh my god.
Fuck it.
so the other 2 and another game that fits that quality very well, despite y'all hating it, is Starfield. Starfield was loved by the critics, and it was a commercial success. And those are the 2 main things you need to get nominated for the Game of the Year.
It got a 93. Clearly, it wasn't received as well as the rest of it. It's at the bottom of the heap.
So,
come on, man.
So that's my 5th one. My 6th one, I always go back and forth. I keep switching it because I'm not sure. I want to say Street Fighter 6 because after what happened with 5 and them coming back really strong with 6, I think it should be nominated. Also, I don't like remakes in the nominations, but they've been doing them, so you got to think about Resident Evil 4. So Capcom did too good this year for them not to get a spot. I think anybody can agree with that.
So let me ask you a question. Okay.
But I think it's gonna be Street Fighter over Resident Evil because I'm just not keen on remakes getting Game of the Year.
Wait, hold on,
Pillock. I have a poll for you. This point.
I have a poll for you. All right, I think we should prostitute out a poll for the people to give us likes, okay? So that they should pick which of our list they think is the most correct one, or the one they agree with the most. All right, Chad, we're gonna need more likes, and if you get us to 200 likes, we're gonna give you.
You know what's crazy? This is what's crazy.
You vote whose list you prefer the most.
Oh, Baron's gonna win that. The chat hates Baron, so I already know that. I don't need to poll for that shit.
Wait. How's he gonna win if it's the list that we prefer?
Yeah. But I'm saying I already know he's gonna get the one that's least. Here's my thing though. This is what's funny. So I held the poll hostage for 100 likes. So I got my 100 likes. I put the poll. The poll got 203 votes. This shit is disrespectful.
I don't know why it's so hard for me to put it.
People love polls. My chat loves these polls. Oh shit, that shit is funny. All right, so hey, we'll see what it is. Let's move on to what's the next topic. Let's talk about Miles Morales.
Can I just say one thing,
Of course.
I do. If it was my personal list, because I like these type of games.
How about personal list? Let's do that. Let's do a personal list now. Personal list. Your personal list.
I would love to throw Liza P there. I think it was a great game. For real.
You know why? A lot of people actually talk about that game.
They like the Souls.
It's a Souls game.
Armored Core 6. I would love to see there. These are games that I just know probably might not make the cut. Lords of the Fallen. Another one. I love that game. And I'm loving RoboCop. You know, I'm almost done with that too. But you know, those are games I just think will never make the list. Listen, this is my list, bro. It's better than Zelda and Mario.
That's it.
Bullshit.
Oh, there you go.
Shit, Blaze, talk
that shit. My man's an underground. He still listens to underground rap.
I do. Lloyd Banks, baby.
He ain't doing mainstream bullshit. Oh shit.
Absolutely.
All right. So how about you, J-Dub? Your personal list. And it doesn't have to be 6. It could just be based on what you played and what you enjoyed.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna be honest. Spider-Man 2, of course. Final Fantasy 16. Love that fucking game. Great game. What else? I will say damn it, man. It's Hogwarts. See, at the beginning of the year, Hogwarts Legacy kind of had me. I mean, that was my game.
Good point, bro.
Once the year started kicking off, once summertime got here and all these fucking games start coming out, then little by little that shit kind of got mashed down, and that's why I kind of hate when developers release game at the beginning of the year, because by the time the end of the year, people forgot about your game in the beginning of the year.
Facts. Dead Space remake too. Another one.
I played Dead Space remake. That was good.
I'll be honest.
It's just hard, man. This year's good. This year was a good year for games.
I got Alan Wake. I beat Alan Wake on PC, and I'm playing it through for the achievements on the PS5 now. Alan Wake is a really good game.
The second one,
Mario. Yeah. I got Mario Wonder or whatever. It's okay, man. It's okay. I'm gonna be honest. It shouldn't be in the contention of game of the year. Sea of Stars. Another fucking game. I got both on Steam, and I got it on PS5. And the rest is a toss up, man. They're all good games. It's hard. Of course, Resident Evil 4, right? Yeah, I'm waiting on the VR, the VR patch for that, right?
Yes.
Once that comes in, and it's so many where it's like, I'll be honest, even if Spider-Man don't win Game of the Year, even if Final Fantasy 16 doesn't win Game of the Year, it was such a fucking good year. Like, it's not really any losers except Starfield, year. Right? That'll be the biggest loser.
Oh shit! This dude. For me, All-Star Extreme. How about you, Extreme? It doesn't have to be 6. It's just whatever.
Sure. I've got 3 games here. So the first is going to be Spider-Man 2, number 1. Right. I really wanted to make Sea of Stars number 1, but I think Spider-Man 2 is just a better game. Then Sea of Stars, which I love almost as much. The only thing that made me love Sea of Stars less is that it made me work for the platinum in a way that was not fun. And so it's very collective.
It's very chore.
Very chore heavy, and it's not. See, in Spider-Man 2, if you get like bogged down, you can use the game help to give you hints as to where the collectibles are. Yeah. So with Sea of Stars, I had to pull out my laptop and rely on YouTube, because it's like, really?
Because they didn't have the hints.
No, this one.
No.
Yeah, you can do everything in Sea of Stars and still not know where to get that last trophy.
Exactly. Oh man, it was so annoying. So that part, I think I played the first 30 hours and I finished the game and I loved every minute of it. Then I spent 20 more hours getting the platinum, and that just dropped. I was like, bro, this is not a game where you can spend an extra 20 hours after the story is over. Like, it's not. If it was been like a 3-hour cleanup, I thought I would have made this my number 1. Anyway, so Spider-Man 2, then Sea of Stars, then Hogwarts Legacy, and that's third because I haven't finished it. And then I have some honorable mentions, things that don't deserve to be Game of the Year, but are just honorable mentions to me. Horizon Forbidden West, because we got the DLC this year, and that was amazing. Burning Shores.
Absolutely.
So that's an expansion, so obviously it doesn't deserve to be there. GT7, we just got a 1.4 update, and I put
Absolutely.
like 20 hours.
Hey,
into
he
it
a
by
bigger
accident.
opponent than me. Holy shit. He said GT7
God.
update.
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
GT7 update.
Yo, respect. Hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it
This
at
is
all. I love-
ridiculous.
Listen, I'm just going.
He
through
said
them.
he said GT7 update.
But
Absolutely.
when he went the 1.4 update, dude, I've just been sucked in all of last week. That's all I've been playing.
I mean,
Like I
you
listen
might
to
as well
podcasts,
add
I put on
Cyberpunk.
Spotify music, listen to some underground rap, and I put them in, and I just drive, and it's just soothing. And then
Absolutely.
finally, a game that did not come out this year, Disco Elysium. I played it this year. Disco Elysium is now on PlayStation Plus, guys. Please play Disco Elysium. If you want to play a good RPG, Disco Elysium is it. And
I
if
had
you
it on
like
PC
that
a couple of
detective
years
aspect,
ago. It's really good. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. If you like the detective aspect of Alan Wake 2, you get to play as a detective and your own thoughts speak to you. Disco Elysium is on PlayStation Plus. It's freaking amazing. So that's my last honorable mention.
Okay. All right. What about you, Baron?
Oh shit.
You might as well just say.
It's easy.
You might as well just say
Tears of the
Zelda.
Kingdom.
There you go. That's it.
There's nothing else to say.
He's
Tears of
playing.
the Kingdom.
That
Alright.
DLC.
The greatest game ever created.
Oh
That
shit.
DLC. Hey, I'm gonna give
The
an
thing is, I won't
honorable
even disagree
mention.
with that. I
I'ma
won't even
give a
disagree with
honor-
that. Tears of the Kingdom looks amazing.
Listen, my honorable mention is Forspoken.
Oh,
That's
nice.
my
Yes.
honorable
You-
mention.
JW losing me, brother.
PS5 and PC.
I love you to death, JW. You're killing me. You're
I know
losing me.
Blaze. I know Blaze. We
should've been
argued
lost a
about
while
it.
ago.
We argued
No,
about
we-
it before, but I'm
I know.
gonna stand 10 toes down on it, man. And listen,
Respect.
I'm the number one person to tell people that it's not a game. A lot of games I play, it's not for everybody, but it's for me.
Facts.
It's like a lot of
That's
games
all that
should-
matters. That's
Yeah,
all.
it's for me.
Evidently, that's very evident.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you another game that you guys need to try out. It didn't do too well in the Metacritic score. I think it was in the 60s or something. But Fort Solis. Fort Solis is a fucking beautiful game. It's a next generation on the game. But if listen, I hate to say it, but it's a better looking fucking Starfield. It's a better game than Starfield.
Damn.
Of course, it's in space, but go try that and see if Bethesda would have took Fort Solis and put their mechanics in Fort Solis, they probably would have had the game of the generation. But since they didn't, then
Hey,
it is what it is.
J-Dub, I'm sorry. I like you, but saying the game is better than Starfield isn't really a recommendation, man. Like,
No, that is
that's
true,
a low
but
bar. That is a low bar
I'm-
to clear.
I'm trying to give them a benchmark. I'm trying to give Bethesda a benchmark.
Better than
try to,
Starfield just
reach.
means you tried and you had some technical competence. Like, that's literally all you need. You
Yeah.
can just nah. You've got to be like, you've got to compare it to like an actual good game so people can actually
Yeah, that's
be
true.
interested.
That's
Is anybody gonna give Redfall any love, man? Come on, Redfall.
Shut the hell up
Redfall.
about that trash, man.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
look. Let's get right to the meat and potatoes of this shit. Because I want to have this shit on record since we coming close to the day. I just want to know who's brave enough to think Tears of the Kingdom is not going to win this year.
I bet you bread right now.
I think Baldur's Gate. I think Baldur's Gate's gonna take it.
I think Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I do too.
Tears of the Kingdom win number deal.
I think Zelda's gonna
Baldur's
get
Gate
the
will win.
Zelda's gonna get the God of, Zelda's gonna get the God of War treatment.
Yup.
They're gonna get the God of War treatment.
That's fair.
They're gonna get the God of War treatment.
What makes you even think of that asinine assumption? That's my thing. Like, what makes
Well,
you-
okay, Baldur's Gate's a huge hit. It's huge.
Kingdom-
It wasn't.
Tears
It
of the Kingdom
wasn't.
was a huger hit.
Okay, no, but let me put it this way. When God of War Ragnarok lost, God of War Ragnarok was a huge hit, but I think you're gonna get that. That's why I say you're gonna get that God of War Ragnarok treatment. Meaning,
Who did God of War lose to?
it was it Elden Ring? You see what I'm saying? So you got to be like, listen, Zelda, you already got your award, you got your sequel. We're not gonna give it to you twice. We're gonna give it to the new guy.
Especially for
Baldur's
DLC,
Gate.
brother.
I'm telling you, you're gonna get that.
Done deal, brother.
Listen, brother. Listen, you're gonna see. Listen, us God of War Ragnarok fans, you're gonna sit right next to us. We know we could coach you in your time of need. We got it. We already went through. Hey, brother, we already went through that phase. We will help you out.
Porter Rock. Your first mistake is trying to put God of War on the same level as Legend of Zelda. You just not understanding.
That's not what I said.
All right, listen, Porter Rock.
No one actually exactly what to do. Like he's making it like a relative position. He's not saying that God of War is on the level of Zelda because God of War is way better than Zelda. Like,
no,
are we joking?
Oh, Lord, we're not going to go into.
Are we joking? Are we joking? What's the story in Breath of the Wild? What's the story in Breath of the Wild? Some chick gets herself locked up again. Okay, that's called fridging, by the way. That's called fridging. It just has a damsel in distress that is useless. And how does she live for 100 years anyway? Like she's literally an old hag that you have to go and save again.
Listen. This one mega franchise that runs everything in this industry, and that's Zelda. We know it. You don't like to admit
Why do you need Zelda to win? Like, Breath of the Wild is a great game, and I'm sure Tears of the Kingdom.
Why are you saying
Tears of the Kingdom
why
is
do I
true.
need Zelda to win? What?
Yeah, why do you need that? Like, why can't you just admit that it's not the be-all and end-all? You're literally speaking like you do. You're literally speaking like you do.
Number two.
Does he have a story yet?
Should win, and that's just.
Does he have a story yet? Does he have a story yet? Does he have voice characters?
That's your DLC.
Play Tears of the Kingdom.
That's your
I
DLC.
haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I'm literally looking for the improvements over Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild's story was ass.
Well, I mean,
does he have a story yet? Does he have voice characters?
Yeah, it does have voice characters.
Yeah, they move their lips,
I speak?
and then you read the title, the text.
Oh yeah, exactly, right. Like reading text, right? Like it's a text.
Brother, this is 2023. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sick of Nintendo getting rid of
Right, Blaze, I agree with you, man. Like shit. I'm just reading Dropbox.
No. I give Zelda its respect, but you can't tell me Nintendo keeps getting the bro, Porter Rock. I mean, Baron, listen, bro. It's 2023. They need to upgrade this shit. Nah, but yo, how you gonna still have text, bro? Their games are fucking. They want to talk about Gears of War and Halo and Forza repeating themselves and PlayStation. Y'all are on fucking, I don't know how many Mario fucking games. Oh, one got a hat, one got a tail, one's an elephant. Oh, fucking Mario.
Hold up. No, Blaze, what Blaze saying is absolutely true, and I'm going to tell you why. Blaze, this is the reason why they have the weakest console, right? Because they don't need power for the basic gaming that they fucking produce. So it kind of makes sense, right? It makes sense, right?
You think Nintendo could make a a realistic type of a game? They can't do it.
They can just call Tears of the Kingdom basic game.
Yo, Blaze, why can't we just have voice acting? Why can't we just have like modern day conveniences?
Yeah.
You know what they say? You know what the Nintendo guys say? They say, "Oh, you just don't know how to read. You don't like reading." Like what? Yeah. Can we get some voice acting characters, please?
Yo, Blaze. I just played Sea of Stars for like 50 hours. I've read the entire thing, but the thing is, Sea of Stars is an indie game.
It's an indie studio, right?
Have voice acting, exactly.
A quarter of the budget.
We like demand more.
Listen, Blaze. I don't even know why you sit up here with this bullshit. You claim you played Astral Chain. That's what you claim. You claim you played it.
No, I played it. I got 37 hours in it. You can check my
Wait. So why are you up here capping about the production values of Nintendo games if you played Astral Chain?
Hold on. Well, Astral Chain was good, but it wasn't crazy. And by the way, I was gonna tell you to check my achievements, but Nintendo don't got them fucking shits. Go ahead, continue.
Oh shit.
But you didn't answer my question. Why are you?
Damn, I was caught. Yo, Barry, I love you.
Of Nintendo games of today.
Wait, hold up, but Astral Chain is made by Platinum.
Right.
That's not a Nintendo. But it's not a Nintendo first party studio.
We know it's not a Nintendo first party studio. The same way the people that made Metroid Dread is not a Nintendo studio, but it's a Nintendo franchise and it was oversaw by Nintendo.
Oh, you know Platinum's hit or miss. Baron, can you admit Platinum's hit or miss? Can you admit that at least?
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes they hit.
Why would I admit that?
They are.
Why would I admit that?
Come on, bro. They hit or miss.
Make it scale bound.
So what? So please name me their misses that ain't licensed games they got a cash grab for.
Oh, brother, hold on. Let me look up trash games by Platinum.
Well, no. So what was that last game that they just did? That was no. There was a game that bombed.
No, it was Astral Chain and Bayonetta 3. Was that last?
No. Platinum Chain. Didn't Platinum Games make that live service game that fucking bombed? Damn, what was it called?
They helped development of that game, and then
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. What's the name of that game?
I forgot the name of it. They was in development, and then they announced they
Babylon Fall.
I forgot.
Babylon's Fall. There you go.
That's what it was. Babylon Fall. I don't know what happened with that.
It's trash.
And then they got. Then they,
what do you mean? What happened?
They wasn't in it. So
no, that's
weird.
Babylon's Fall. It was trash.
Like I said, midway through development, they said they wasn't in it anymore. I don't know what happened with that deal or whatever was going on.
Let me see. Hold on. I think you're lying. Let me see. Let me see development.
It was odd. Platinum did some of the game, and then the other studio did the other some. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was some shady ass deal, whatever they had going on there. That was weird.
I'm just saying, wouldn't you like to see a more serious IP from Nintendo, like just something more? But yeah, I don't know.
Chain was definitely one of them.
Brother, I'm talking something like Nintendo games all got the same type of art design. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm being
so hold up. So hold up,
bro.
Hey, real quick. Planning games.
They all look like Saturday morning cartoons.
Hey, hold on.
Stop. Come on, bro.
Planning games.
Like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Just about. It's
Oh my
the
God.
closest. It's the closest one. It's the closest one away from it, but. That's just one game. You can't name me another game.
Blaze, you know Baron been hit across the head with chairs too many times, man.
This man said Metroid looked like a Saturday morning
You are
cartoon.
not getting through to that
bro.
guy, man.
Brother, you know what I'm saying though. You bringing up one game out of everything. I'm telling you, most of the games.
I'm sitting up here I'm bringing up how the differences between their franchises are pretty drastic. They all don't look the same.
I'm saying the same art style, bro. Like it's all the same cartoony look.
The last two Zelda games, they're not even comparable to the two before that. Ever since Twilight Princess, Zelda has taken a way more darker tone. But y'all continue to try to label it as cheating, which is crazy to me.
They tried to make a realistic game.
games
I
are
like
for children.
a more darker, mature tone of a game.
Nintendo games
since
are
its
for children.
existence.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
not
trying to
like
figure out where
that's
this
not
Kiddy
like
shit come from that everything's all
Nintendo
Kiddy
is
and fucking
games are
rainbows.
made for children. That's what they are.
Let's say that
Mario been the same bright colored motherfucker forever. That's his forte. That's what he does. I'm not expecting Mario to change who he is.
Jacob, you know what I'm saying, right? I'm not trying to be crazy.
And I agree with Blaze. They should make games for adults, with visuals for adults, with production for adults.
Right.
Like Nintendo is slacking, and the only reason that's successful is because they got a handheld market. They need to do better.
Okay. Here's my thing. I'll say that it's the most dumbest thing because it doesn't apply. But then y'all turn around, y'all play games like Spider-Man, which I try to act like it's for adults. It's a fucking comic book character that caters to everybody, can cater to all ages. It's not for adults. It has the same almost demographic as a Zelda game or as a Mario game. It's a comic book character. Which
let's say
Let's
say that's true.
I don't understand where y'all get that notion from.
Yeah, but
Hey guys, don't
bro,
spoil
but let's say he's right.
Yeah, don't.
Let's say he's right. Let's say he's right about Spider-Man. Let's say he's right about Spider-Man that it's not for adults. Okay, that's one game, but I'm telling you, the majority, 90% of your games are made for. They look like children games. I'm just being real. That's it.
100.
I'm not saying they're bad games.
Can you name a game that is not made from children?
I'm not saying they're
I
bad
know
games.
what a children game looks like.
Brother,
look at
What is a
Zelda.
children game?
holy
look at
shit, bro.
Zelda.
You ever hear of, Baby
I
Shark?
want to know what the definitive classification and definition of a children game is.
All right.
That's what.
All right. You want to
Okay.
know Coco Melon, shit like that, bro? It looks like a child game, bro.
What?
Man,
Hey, can I say it?
Brother,
Can I
when
say
you have a
what the
seat, you'll know what I'm
definition
talking
for a children's game is? I'll just answer it. I'll just answer the question. It's a game that when your child starts playing it, you know you don't need to give any supervision. I would never
Absolutely not.
supervise a child playing Zelda.
Okay, what
I would never supervise.
You're
Now, why are they
shooting
gonna be
little
like, oh
cookies,
dad,
Baron.
no, this
You're
thing's
shooting
hit me with a
little
club.
Baron.
Oh no,
What
I'm
are we talking
traumatized.
about, Baron?
I've seen 10-year-old kids that need no supervision to play any fucking Call of Duty game.
Bro, those
Okay,
are bad
but
parents.
The point is, if you put The Last
So
of Us
what
to
is
your
your
child,
point here?
if you give a 7-year-old The Last of Us Part 2, you are a bad parent.
Absolutely.
That's because it's not a children's game.
Oh my god.
Every single Nintendo title is a children's game. What are you gonna do? Supervise your child when he's playing Mario? Like, oh no, son, you're going down the pipe. That's an allegory for something else.
What makes a children game is something you can't supervise a child to play.
Oh my God.
And I'm not saying these games are bad, Baron. I'm not saying the games are bad either.
If we gotta
like
explain
90% of games.
Yeah, if we've got to explain to you what parental restrictions and where that comes from, either you're not a parent or you just don't have we don't have the time for it.
No, you need to explain what you mean by the gaming aspect. That if a child needs to be supervision, it's not a child.
Baron,
Okay,
Baron.
GTA,
All right.
GTA is a game that is inappropriate for children. It has violence, it has sex, it has gore. Elden Ring is inappropriate for children. It has horror elements, you know. It has brutal murders. Again, I will not give that to a less than 10-year-old. When you look at Zelda, there is nothing challenging about it. Nintendo games feed your inner child, which is great. There is nothing challenging in Breath of the Wild. What are you going to do to be challenged? What are you going to do? They don't even make logical sense. It doesn't make sense that the princess has been holding an evil abbey for 100 years, but now she needs me for the next... Why? Why do you need me? She's like, oh, hurry. I'm like, you've been holding down for 100 years. Why do you need me to hurry? I'm going to go fish.
Here's what I don't understand about, stuff like that. I don't understand how people, typically in Blaze category, people like Blaze. There's nothing wrong with people like Blaze, but it's just funny to me how
what you say about Blaze?
Anything that's going to be related to being quote unquote an adult game, it has to have some type of gore or violence in it.
That's not what we're saying, bro. Bro, listen, don't pinpoint me when we're all agreeing. You're the one only disagreeing with this. It's not a Blaze thing. We're literally trying to explain to you the difference between those type of games.
Blaze, if you gotta explain it to a grown man, like, come on.
Exactly, man. Maybe he's not so grown.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Bro, wear his Zelda leotard to bed, man. You can't explain that to that, brother.
Maybe he does adult things with Nintendo characters.
A game called Astro Boy, but okay.
Astro Boy.
Astro Bot, you mean?
Astro Bot.
Astro Boy, whatever that trash ass shit was.
Pause.
Now that game is fire in VR.
Oh, by the way, that game is also for children.
Game is fire.
Absolutely.
Also for children.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You can enjoy a game for children and say it's for children.
Right.
See, no. What you're not understanding is, Aaron, we're not against those type of games. That what we're telling you is all Nintendo pretty much offers is that type of game. That's all we're saying. No one's against.
I mean,
different.
If that's how you feel, that it's not for me to change your asinine mindset of it. It's not for me. It's not my job.
I mean, can you name me a mature rated game from Nintendo? Can you?
You played one already.
He's gonna say Bayonetta and some other goofy shit.
Here's a Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I mean, and Bayonetta's cool. I like Bayonetta. But again, that's all from the same Platinum Games. That's really not even Nintendo. I'm asking you like from there.
It came from. It's something Nintendo financed themselves to release on their console that they wanted to be there.
Hey, whoa. Hold on. Stop. Run that by me again?
What?
No. Well, explain that part.
What?
That is not from a Nintendo developer. Explain that. Just for the audience. That is not from...
That.
No, you just said it. Can you explain that again? So that way the audience can understand what you're trying to say.
What do you mean?
What you just said. Repeat what you said and make sure the audience understand what you're trying to say.
Nintendo financed that project because they wanted that game on their platform.
Okay. So then it's a Nintendo strategy. It's their strategy.
Studio, probably so. They work with them so much.
And that's what you give them credit for. So and you give Nintendo credit for that because they're overseeing it, they financed it, and Platinum Games delivered, and that's why that should count as an adult game for the Nintendo audience, right?
I really don't see why.
He can see the setup.
He sees it. Hey, alley-oop is coming, boy.
You know why, right? Because next week, now you're gonna get my list of what's coming for Sony. Now you got my list. Because you just admitted that if the first party finance and gets it from the developer, that counts. And Sony is financing lots of games that's coming out next year. So don't come at me. Stop. Don't even dare Don't you even dare say, I'm going to give you the list now. Now I can get you list. Don't even dare say, no, I need. Listen, stop. Whoa. No. Do not even attempt to say, do not even, listen, do not. Whoa, stop. Do not even, do not even attempt. Do not even attempt to say it has to be proper first party studio. You already killed it.
No. I want you to give me that list, but I want you to understand when you do give me this list, don't give me no bullshit fucking indie shit.
No. I'm gonna give you.
Nintendo has funded.
Yep.
I want no bullshit now.
Got it. And you got it. I'm gonna give you Souls games. It's not gonna be no indie little bullshit, Sea of Stars, crappy shit. Woo! Woo! Thank you. Nope. Got it. Sorry. That's it. Got it. Clip that.
Next story.
Done. Thanks. That's all I wanted. Got it. Hey, Blaze. Thank you for the alley-oop. I don't think Blaze intended it, but Blaze tried to do a 3-shot. He missed, but I came in. Got you, my boy. Doom.
At the buzzer, too.
Doom. Boy, I came in. Doom. I took a 3-point miss and dunked that shit, boy. Oh man, you know Barrett's like,
because they always criticize Sony for that shit.
Barrett's like,
interested in what
hey,
is.
you won that battle. Enjoy that battle. Oh shit.
I'm excited as you to see this list.
Shit. Oh man, more topic. Let's talk about this. Miles Morales, right? So, article came out saying that Insomniac confirmed that going forward, Miles Morales is, the Spider-Man forward. But the truth is that was misread on the article. In fact, James Stevenson, I'll say who he is right now. James Stevenson is, he's the director of community marketing at Insomniac Games, right? Mm-hmm. And because of all this, he posted a GIF saying "jump to conclusions," and he's making fun of everybody because everybody jumped to conclusions about Miles Morales being the Spider-Man going forward. So obviously that's not the case, right? I think they both integral, and I read the article, and the article is specifically what they've done with Miles Morales, not what they're going to do. Meaning they feel at this point they made him into his own person that's responsible and can do things on his own, and that's what they were talking about. People took that as, that going forward, Spider-Man games is going to be Miles Morales or something's going to happen to Peter, right? But what this ended up doing, though, is sparked the conversation where people are saying, that it's, where's it at? Let me get this out of here. There we go. Tweet, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, Miles Morales is Miles Morales. So apparently Miles Morales can't be Spider-Man because only Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So I'm going to go down the panel. I'm going to start with Blaze. I want to ask you, and this is not a Sony PlayStation thing. I know some people are going to say I was just fanboys. No, because I see this in comics too. Especially when the first Into the Spider-Verse came out, Yep. That's where it started. Well, or it probably started before that if you're really deep into comics, whatever, into the comic culture and you're online all day, because I would imagine there's fanboys wars all day in comics. But I really saw it carry over once that movie came out, and now it's just getting worse. So from Blaze, what are your perspective? Why is people so resistive to call Miles Morales Spider-Man when in the comics they call him Spider-Man, the artists call him Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's more, there's a Spideyverse, so there's a whole bunch of Spider-Man. We have a Mexican Spider-Man who's half vampire. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Blaze, what's your opinion? What's your view on this whole only Peter Parker is Spider-Man? What do you think is the
I think it's foolishness, but personally it shouldn't matter, bro. Miles Morales is Spider-Man. He's doing the exact same fucking things as Spider-Man, bro. He got bit by a spider. He's doing all the same thing. I just don't see. The one thing I don't want to see is if people say you do prefer playing as Peter Parker, which whatever, that's cool. If you like playing as Peter Parker, cool, right? I just don't want to see people, race baiting with that shit too. That shit pissing me the fuck off. Oh, if you like Peter Parker over Miles Morales, you racist. That's fucking stupid. But personally, I actually enjoyed playing with Miles Morales more than Peter Parker. You know what I mean? He felt more powerful to me in Spider-Man 2 until you get the Venom ability.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's people, man. They like man. People just want to complain just to complain, bro. That's what it is. It's all fake.
All right. Before I move on, let me hit up some super chat. We got Chubb Norris. Baron's cap for Starfield is over 9,000. P-Rock, tell me about it, bro. That shit is astronomical, bro. That shit's a.
I'm just waiting for that nomination on Monday.
Oh man, you're gonna be crying, bro. You're gonna be one of them people crying. You're gonna listen. You're gonna have another Qatar moment.
Why would I have a guitar moment about
that? You're gonna have another Qatar moment, boy.
I'm definitely gonna be on y'all next.
Yeah, get the reference. That's the first time I've seen Baron, the Qatar moment. I'm like, who the? I'm like, oh shit. We got Eli. Yeah, that shit was funny though. Eli. GTA 6 announced this week, according to Jason Schreier. Ooh, that would be. Oh my god. I'm telling you, man. GTA 6 announcement drops. Everything will be like. The announcement will get a nom at the awards. That's it. The announcement.
That'll shut the
internet player's down, voice.
Bro. That's it.
We'll probably see the trailer or whatever. We'll probably see that.
That's gonna be a doozy. All right, Majid Bell, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I apologize if I'm not. Baldur's Gate 3 wins because it brought in gamers that don't typically play CRPGs. CRPGs are very niche, and it broke the niche. Trendsetter. Trendy. Okay. Good point. Very good point. Extreme. What do you think about the whole Miles Morales?
Hey, listen. The reason they don't want him to be Spider-Man is because he's black. All right, we're not gonna sugarcoat around this.
And Puerto Rican.
We're not gonna sugarcoat it. Okay, he was okay. And listen. It is fair to say that there are superheroes that traditionally have been male, straight, and white, okay? And now in the last 10 years or the last 20 years or so, the comic book world has tried to diversify to attract new people. And so in many cases, they have put other races and everything else into the world of, traditionally male, straight, and white characters. There's nothing particularly wrong with that, but it is how it's gone about rather than give like an entire brand new character from the ground up that happens to be black in order to sell. They've changed races and everything. That's a conversation. That's something to talk about. That's something to think about. But at the end of the day, we're not going to sugarcoat around it. He's black and they don't like it. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of what Blaze said as to which in Spider-Man 2 specifically, which one you prefer, I honestly would never race bait someone and be like, hey, listen, you prefer to play as Peter. Therefore, somehow that is a commentary on your racial relations in the real world or whatever. Like, I just think that would be the most stupid, asinine thing anyone could say. So if you prefer to play as Peter with his powers or his moveset, or even if you just prefer him as a character, like maybe you grew up with Peter, so you're like, Peter is my Spider-Man. Like, you're allowed to have preferences, and that doesn't mean you're racist. Like, I don't even know which one I prefer to play as. I would just switch them intermittently from one to the other. I think they land on the same level for me, but I would never go to someone, oh, you prefer to play exclusively as Peter. Now, I will say that racist if they say I hate play as Miles, because then I'd be like, what is it about Miles that you hate specifically? And if they don't say something gameplay related, well, there's only one thing else.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican too, so maybe they hate Puerto Rican too.
They could hate Puerto Ricans.
Maybe, which is just a different way of racism. So there you go.
They could be like, yeah. They could be like build. They could be like build that wall.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
See,
wait, he's not Mexican.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
that's what makes it funny. Like, we could just buy a JetBlue ticket. Like, we don't have to sneak in. It's like, we could afford $99 to come here.
Yeah. It's all.
What about you, J Dub? What's your view on that?
I think it's all bullshit. You always get fucking morons that want to do shit, whether it's character of a different race or gender or whatever. It's always bullshit, man. It's like it's fucking comic book characters. This shit was fucking written in fucking long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, Why does it even? Of course, it doesn't matter. But we know the only reason motherfuckers are even reacting to this is because of the fucking racism. It is what it is. Like, let's.
Yeah,
I know some people are
100%.
going to say, no, it's not. It's just Peter
That's
this and this and that,
I'm
and it's like you're a fucking moron. You're a
I'm
fucking
Yo,
moron. It is what it
You,
is.
you touched on something that is true, right? Like these comic books, this media is a product of its time. Back when Spider-Man
Yeah.
was created, when these, like legacy Marvel IP were created, there were no black people being like, black artists in the
They weren't
studio.
showcased
Black
as they
voices
are
weren't
now.
represented. So it's like,
Yeah.
of course, there was no like black superhero. So yes,
Yeah.
is like people can make a comment like, oh, I don't agree with the way that you have diversified by doing like race swaps and everything. Like you can go that far if you want to. By the end of the day, these are fictional characters. It's a bit like when you talk about having a black James Bond and people get all
Yeah.
up in arms. Like they get
Exactly.
the tits in the tweets
Exactly.
because they don't want Idris Elba as James
He's just
Bond.
elbow to
And I'm
play
just
James
like,
Bond. He's
but
fucking
will he
British.
fit
He's
the
British.
role? Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. Will he do
The
the
only
job?
requirement,
Yes, exactly.
the only requirement to be fucking James Bond, right, is to fucking be from that. Pretty much, I mean, if you think about it, there's been a ton of James Bonds that was fucking Scottish, fucking Irish, and everything else. Like,
Yeah.
like, come on, it's a fucking code name. Anybody fucking can play that. Even Stan Lee himself. Um, there's a video going around with him talking about that. It's fucking anybody. That's why fucking Spider-Man wears a fucking suit where you can't see what race he is or who the fuck he is. He can be anybody. But you got, again, it goes back to the assholes. Some people are just fucking assholes. I get it. Some people don't want to play games. Like I know some people talked about, oh, I don't like playing with Mary Jane in the game and blah 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 blah. And it's like, dude, you're only playing with her for such a short period of time. Like, shut the fuck up and just fucking play the game. Who cares if she's a fucking woman or not? Like, I just think it's just some fucking immature, fucking goofy ass people. That's really what I think it is.
Oh well, hold on, Jay. Hold on. Let me give you a little devil's advocate. I do think, okay, you can't listen. How you have Venom, Miles, and Spider-Man, okay, or Peter, whatever the fuck you want to call him, and like I just feel like they could have did all that with a cutscene. Is it a big deal? No. Were they fast? Were they better? Were they improved? Yes, they were. Their missions were all improved at Mary J. But they could have skipped it. They could have.
Blaze, here's the thing you
Yeah,
don't
but
understand though.
they
No,
could
no,
have
here's the
also
thing.
added
The
Wolverine
reason
in there. They could have fucking had
no,
aliens come out of the
J-Dub,
sky, but they
J-Dub,
didn't. They decided to.
there's a literal narrative reason why you make someone play as someone else. And in the case of what is it, MJ and Miles Morales in the first game, is to make you feel the difference between Spider-Man and a regular human. Because what they want you to do is to understand from a gameplay perspective, like it's a bit like what Kojima said when he did the switcheroo. Was it in Metal Gear Solid 2, where you don't play as
Yeah.
Solid Snake? And he
Yeah.
said that the only way to understand Snake is that you have to see him from the outside.
From
So
the third,
that's the
yeah.
same thing that they're trying to do when you play as MJ and Spider-Man 2. Yes, you have Venom. Yes, you have the true Spider-Man. But the thing is, you can't fully understand how powerful they are until you play as someone else who happens to be in their vicinity. And I'm not going to spoil the game, but you guys both know that sequence where MJ is running away and you're like, oh, this is a reversal of the scales. And now you understand just how monstrous, you know,
Yeah.
those other Spider-Men are compared to you when you're so frail and you're so vulnerable. So
Yeah, but like some
that's
people have
the
some valid
narrative reason
complaints.
behind it.
No,
And you
this-
Yeah,
wouldn't
but some
feel
people
that
had
if you were just watching a cutscene.
right.
If you're just watching a cutscene of MJ experiencing the Spider-Man, that's not the same as you being in the seat.
No, people
I
did
mean,
the same thing.
I
People did the same thing with The Last of Us too, right? They complained that that they didn't get to play with Joel as much as they want to, and they had to play as a female. It's just
I
it's
don't
just
want to get into that convo, bro. But
I,
what I'm
I
saying is,
know,
He's
but
not coming at it
it's
from a
kind of all the
sexist
same thing.
perspective.
The developers, they make a game that they intended to make, right? And they deliver the game that they intended you to play. You can have your preferences on which the favorite character that you'd like to play is,
right?
but
They made the game. I
you
did.
can't
You're right.
yeah, you can't develop that out of that.
Right.
It's a whole story. They tie that into the story, and the goal is to just play the game to the end and get an enjoyment out of that. But to go in and say, wait, you should have took this out and you should have took that out and made this story. If they would have made the game that you probably really wanted to do it that way, that game probably would have turned out to be shit. That's why I let developers do what they want, because I'm not a developer and I'm not a fucking writer. And sure, I can say, hey, this game started off slow, but it ended.
Yeah, but Jacob, just because they're a developer doesn't mean that all their choices were good design choices and stuff like that. But I see what you're saying. Like it's their story.
If I write, okay, Blaze, if I write a book, right? If I'm writing a novel, I'm writing it the way I want to write, regardless of who the fuck the audience is. Now, once you get the book and you read it, sure, you can disseminate it later after whatever, right? If you ever watched Game of Thrones or read the book of Game of Thrones, you might say this should have went here and there and that. But ultimately, right, you were delivered something. You read something, you either like it or you don't. But to go,
I get your point, bro.
And I think we're getting we're sidetracking what we should be. We should be thinking of, is this a great game? Was the story great? What's the characters, endearing to you? And if they are, why complain? Why change? Because you can say that about any game. You can say God of War Ragnarok. Oh, they should have did this. They should have did that. But if you get into that, then you're kind of missing the whole point about gaming anyway. The whole point about gaming is having a fucking great experience and having fun and being engaged. But if you try to go and write and do the work, then you're a fucking worker. You're not a fucking, you're not being
right. But I still gave Spider-Man still Game of the Year for me. But that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that my opinion's.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying how people this whole context, even about Miles Morales being potentially the going forward, like the main Spider-Man or whatever. Of course, he's Spider-Man. He's not just Miles Morales. He's fucking Spider-Man.
No, the problem is, Jay, the people will take the little things like that, like, oh, I didn't like the Mary Jane parts, and they'll derail the whole game and take it out of contention because of one little incident. That's what I'm not going to do. That's the trap I don't fall into. You know what I'm saying?
Because I see the same Discord online. I see people saying it. Oh, well, this was a sore point for me. Is playing, and then I go into a little bit deeper. Right? I go into the psychology behind it. Why Mary Jane has such a small role of you controlling her? It's not like you were controlling her for fucking 30 minutes to an hour, 2 hours. You only had her for a few minutes. And if that irritated you that much where you're like, I would give this game a 10 out of 10, but I had to play with Mary Jane for fucking 5 minutes, and that just fucking, it was the bane of me. I just fucking hated it. Like, that is less to do with Mary Jane and more to do with that person. That's how I see it. But again, this is my own opinion, so take my opinion as a grain of salt. It's just the way I see it.
Oh, it's a valid point, bro.
So let me.
If they made a game, if they made a Mary Jane game, right? I'd probably skip it because she's not that interesting of a character to me. I'm just saying it. But I'm just saying, just because I play with it 5 minutes, it's not going to destroy the fucking game for me. Like
the whole experience, right?
Yeah, come on.
I'm gonna say this, so I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate. So, because we also got to remember, because I like Extreme's point, talking about the artistic view behind it, and we know Sony. You've seen Sony's latest commercial. They talk about emotion being in the game, So I would imagine that all the studios try to, set things up, And we seen. I think there was a documentary or something of how Naughty Dog, when they make games, they do things because they want to help people go into certain rooms. So they put like furniture in certain spots. So that way you have to like walk around it, and all of a sudden you see this door and you're thinking, oh, let me go there because that's what they want you to do. So obviously there's an artistic feel to the game that these developers want to bring to gaming and stuff like that. So something like what Extreme just talked about is they want you to feel the separation of like, hey, you play Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Now all of a sudden you're Mary Jane, right? But you're not doing all the things, and you're like, now you can see the separation, right? But for a lot of gamers, it's not really all that serious for them. For them, it's just fun gameplay. And the truth is, Mary Jane has never been fun gameplay. It's just not, right? And while it's only 5 minutes, you ever done something that's miserable and it felt like it's fucking forever? And you realize
D-Rock,
it's only been
spitting right now, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it really,
Like,
but is it really miserable?
I'll be like, no. I'll be honest. I didn't like Mary Jane's spot either. I still don't like it. I'm not gonna go on the internet and cry foul, but it wasn't fun, right? In fact, the only thing, I'll be honest, and I don't want to spoiler, but because this one was different than, I'll be honest, I actually enjoyed playing Spider-Man saving Mary Jane in the first one, where she was going around doing stuff and you had to silently take out the enemies. I'd rather do that than did what we did in this game, right? But I don't want to go too much into it.
You have Mary Jane.
Yeah, we're not. Porter Rock, I just hear me out real quick.
Yeah, and it was less fun too. But I will say this. In my opinion, the things they did with Mary Jane, because it was a little bit more to her character, it just, especially towards the end, I'm not going to spoil it, but if you play the end, you know the part she played towards the end to do stuff, I felt like, are they doing this? And Extreme, you mentioned plenty of time developers do things in some games and then they expand and take it to a whole new level in another game, right? Mm-hmm. Would you feel what they did with Mary Jane in the end could be a separate game? Not a Mary Jane game, just a whole new IP, but they expand the third person shooter genre. Because that's what it felt like. It felt like, because I'm like, it feels like they're trying to do something here and trying to experiment with something. That's what it felt like to me, rather than, like, to me, Mary Jane felt like more like an experiment than actually, it didn't feel natural to the game for me. For me, it didn't feel natural. In fact, it felt weird. I'll be honest, right? Because, like, Spider-Man, you're like, Mary Jane, zip. It didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I mean, think about it. Think about the ending. Technically speaking, right. Think about the ending. She literally had the most powerful weapon in the game. When you think about it.
Give me that.
I'm not gonna say it, but think about it. Think about what you did with her. That didn't make sense. I'm like, why didn't everybody have that? You could have just smoked everybody with what she had. Think about it.
And these are Kraven's most deadliest forces.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the end. Like, her mission in the end. That's why the joke is she's overpowered. It's like weird.
She's designed to be overpowered for gameplay reasons. Like the director said, I want people to experience the shift from moving from a Spider-Man to a regular civilian. But at the same time, the gameplay couldn't have been as slow and as dull as the first game. So they purposefully made her overpowered just so you get that shift. That is the gameplay falling behind the narrative purpose. So when people say it doesn't make sense for her to have like this super powerful weapon, yes, but that's so that you can get through that section faster. Because the point of that section isn't for you to be Mary Jane. The point of that section is for you to not be Spider-Man. And that's an important distinction that people are not understanding.
But I understand the distinction. The distinction is for a lot of people, like for me not being Spider-Man, that doesn't mean anything for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be people who look at it from an artistic whatever view or whatever, but from a gameplay view, and this is why I'm like siding with Blaze. I could have easily done without, like, if you remove that part, let's say if you remove the Mary Jane part, it would do nothing to the game. Nothing. And that's a fact. But put it this way. If you completely remove that segment and make it into cinematic cutscene and completely ruin it, it will not hurt the game, not one bit. But if you take that,
I fully disagree.
I don't think. Who would it hurt?
For the one specific mission that I can't mention because I'm trying to avoid spoilers. Out here. But the point is, there is a part where you are playing, and this is when. Okay, I literally can't mention it. We'll talk about it another time.
It's very generic, though.
Let me put it this way.
No, I tried to be generic, but
you're talking about the ending. Are you talking about the final mission?
No, this is not the ending. This is actually like halfway through the game. But yeah, in any case, like I said, you play as Mary Jane, and you get a different feel for what is going on because you are playing as her. It's a bit like when you play as Atreus in God of War. Like, yes, Atreus has got far more, fun combat and gameplay than Mary Jane ever did, right? Because he is a god. But the point is, you get to understand Kratos and how Kratos feels because you are playing as somebody else. In fact, I wanted
that.
Also let you play as Freya, so that you will again be like, oh, these two
Oh hell no.
that.
No,
But
so
I
I
this.
I
Because
didn't.
I swear
So,
you could have turned into a
No.
bird. You could have done into other things.
Ah,
And also,
no,
she's a source woman.
so what you're saying with I didn't get that playing Mary Jane at all. In fact, I get no association. The time, and again, playing with Mary Jane, just all I got was this is not fun. So I'm just, to me, for me, when I played those scenes, all I said to myself, just get through it and move the fuck on as fast as possible. That's it. Nothing more.
Tab.
Nothing more.
That's
What's
fair.
going on?
That's
Let's
fair.
you see what I'm saying?
But that doesn't mean the intention wasn't there.
the point. I mean, maybe so, but like I said, sometimes you gotta look at it as a game. What it is, it's a game, right? If you
But that's why they
remove,
give you
I would say,
weapon, and then you guys complain about it.
I'm saying no, but that's the thing. Like you could just like I said, if you remove the Mary Jane part, I don't think that's gonna impact the game at all. No one's gonna be like, man, I didn't really get the sense for Spider-Man because I didn't get to play as no.
Right.
Yeah, but
Look at Batman. Look at Arkham Asylum. I didn't have to play as Alfred to understand Batman's potential. They didn't do that.
right.
But
You didn't do
there
that.
are times where you play.
Can I-
No, but
can
there are
I,
times where you play as.
You see what I'm
Bruce
saying?
Wayne.
The whole point
No,
what
no,
I'm
but
saying
there are
is,
times where you play as Bruce Wayne, and then you feel the lack of gadgetry.
yeah, but you didn't fight as Bruce Wayne. All you did was just walk and talk. You didn't do anything, right?
Actually,
That's
in Arkham City,
can
you
remember.
did have
No,
a
in Arkham
segment
City,
where
yeah.
you were Bruce
I
Wayne.
don't remember. You know, here's the point: if you remove the Mary Jane, I don't think anybody would have noticed. In fact, I would think more people would be like, "Thank God, I didn't have to do Mary Jane."
100%.
But let's say if you take that Mary Jane segment and made it 40 minutes, I don't think anyone.
It's the tunnel section. Thank you. Somebody said it. There's a section in the tunnel where you are playing as Mary Jane, and you wouldn't get that visceral feeling if you were just playing as another Spider.
Yes, you would, because you've been fighting these motherfuckers the whole game.
They could have done that. No, they could have done
You
that.
guys don't even remember.
No. I know. No, the one.
I know exactly what part
Listen,
you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about, right? In that scene, they could have made that a cutscene and it would have ended the same result. Resident Evil done that plenty of times with cutscenes.
No, the problem is all three of you are right, but I get where Extreme is coming from. The problem is narratively, I get where they were going, and Extreme has nailed it. The problem is trying to balance that in a game. Like I didn't care for playing as Mary Jane, but I found it far more tolerable than the first game. The thing is
it's better than the first game. It is better than the first game.
In the first game.
But
he's right. He's right.
Yeah, but what does that even mean?
They could achieve the same thing with a cutscene.
Yeah.
Yes and no. They could. The cutscene would have grabbed the narrative and moved it along. But the problem is, without personally experiencing it, it doesn't have the same amount of tension that it does when you're playing as her. For instance, in that scene where you guys are talking about, if you were, say, using another Spider-Man, you wouldn't even be remotely nervous because you have all these superpowers. But playing as someone with
y'all were nervous.
All she can do is fire her weapon. It makes it a lot more intense because she has far less stamina, or stamina, for lack of a better word, not hit points.
Hey, but that weapon is literally one-shotting people. Why?
No. If you really go back and look, the weapon actually she's hitting him twice with it. She runs up from behind, she hits him in the side, and then she hits him in the neck with it. And again, like it's a taser though. Like a taser is gonna drop somebody with one shot, but she's actually hitting them twice with it. If you watch from behind,
I'm talking about just at the end.
No, I'm talking about in general. Like in the end, it took three. It actually took it takes 3 shots to down the symbiotes. But again, like I'm not necessarily defending the Mary Jane segments because I could have done without them, but I found them far more tolerable, so they didn't bother me as much. And it's a balance thing, because if they made it a little more realistic, then her segments would have been like 30, 40, 50 minutes, because it would have been agonizing. So they had to, if they were going to include her, they had to beef that up a little bit. And the other thing too is breaking up the pacing. Again, like I say, this is tough because you're balancing with a video game, but narratively speaking, it's breaking up the pacing to keep the superhero stuff special. That's why, just like in movies, you have the Clark Kent moments, you have the Bruce Wayne moments where they bring it down, and you have them without the cape and everything is just regular. And then when he gets back into that, it's kind of like it's like cleansing the palate almost. So then when you go back in, it's fresh again. And it's a tough thing to balance with a game because, I mean, the narrative and everything is amazing, but at the end of the day, people are still playing a game. So
yeah, exactly, and that's my point. See, a movie,
it's a tough balance.
When you got the movie and he's the Clark Kent and he does his comedic, right? I get that, but the problem is when you're playing a character and the gameplay is not fun. Like some people say, I feel vulnerable. The gameplay is not fun. I mean, I know that's opinionated, but I think you will find more people if you just straight up say, "Hey, is the Mary Jane game segment fun gameplay?" Most people say, "Not really. It's not really fun." Right? So that's the thing. You're contending two different things. I get the artistic, but I think most people will say it's just not fun. It's just hard part. We're just doing it because you have to, so you get to it, and then it's just not fun. Hard part is just not fun.
You don't gotta like everything. That's all.
There are times in movies where they have awkward compositions because narratively something needs to happen, and technically they can't make it happen any other way than give you something that kind of looks goofy. But you don't care because you're following in the narrative of the moment. In video games, which is an art form, there are going to be times when the gameplay is subservient to the narrative. So you have to go through the functionally, technically gameplay less than positive part, but narratively you gain something that you couldn't do through a cutscene. You guys keep thinking that MJ segments could have been a cutscene, and I'm like, no, because from a narrative point of view, they would not have had the same impact. That's important. And the thing is, we are in an art form that has to evolve. We can't just keep just giving you the base standard of fare. Without the MJ segments, Spider-Man 2 is just a by-the-books comic book game. With the MJ parts, yes, there are it is less fun to play as MJ than a Spider-Man, obviously. Who wouldn't want to have superpowers, right? But the point is that narratively, it serves a purpose. And later on, again, we can't even talk about it because people are getting mad that we're talking about so many spoilers. So I don't want to spoil it for the people.
The argument. I'm just saying, if you look at the
gameplay needs sometimes to take a back seat so that you can actually just experience, the narrative of the story.
Nah, I'm not buying. I mean, what I could say maybe at that point, but not with Spider-Man. Not with Spider-Man. Not even close. Like again, you could remove that part; it would do nothing to the game. Like I don't think her part's impactful at all. I don't see her part impactful at all. Not at all.
I disagree.
Like that part. In fact, if you look at reviews and the critical claim, if you look at podcasts or reviews or whatever, and the topic of MJ, most of it is about why are we even playing this. No one's really talking about, well, this is the narrative that does. No one's talking.
Gamers,
no one's
looking. Are not used to artistic merit.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
Okay. Well, I agree. That's the truth. So true. So if your audience is not really that deep in artistic narrative, but there's one thing we can all agree on: gamers are about gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think the only way it gets away with it is because it is short. It feels like a chore, but it's short. But if they would have made this game like 40 minutes or an hour, this game would have gotten thrashed. But Mary Jane Sager would have completely thrashed.
I agree with that, bro.
It would have gotten thrashed. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying the narrative as a CGI, I think,
the goal.
You know,
the goal isn't for you to play as MJ. Like I said, their goal isn't for you to play MJ. Their goal is for you to not be Spider-Man. And she just happens to be the character that makes the most sense for you to be put in. Like, what did you want them to make you play as some random street person on the street?
No, they don't have to make me.
MJ.
But who says nothing? No, but what I'm saying, who says you have to do that? You could just
because they're trying to get you to understand what being a Spider-Man is, and you can't do that if you're always Spider-Man. It's a bit like
wait, you telling me being Spider-Man 24/7 doesn't make you get an understanding of being Spider-Man?
No, it isn't, because you don't get the full perspective. You don't get to see it all the way. That's why even like Miles Morales' mom, she's so involved in his story because she gets to show you what it's like. Like the moment where she has an argument with Peter about Miles, that is again showing you that no, this is a human behind the mask. This isn't just some guy who puts on a cape and he's
but we know that. I mean, who don't know this?
So
yeah, but the point is other people's perspectives are important. And yes, taking you away from the driving seat, literally go, like you talk about how this is going to be the entire game. But Kojima made an entire game based on this concept. Like, you can't be Snake because you have to understand the legacy and the legend of Snake while being somebody else. And people were like, yeah, but it's not as fun. But now, years later, they're like, yeah, we understand it now. Again, these are games that are going to push the medium. And yes, even comic book games have to be able to be more narratively sound and interesting.
I mean, listen, everybody loves the game at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I don't see any of that shit with that. Like the whole concept that I need to play as Mary Jane to understand Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure I don't need to be a boxer to understand when Mike Tyson was in his prime, he can fuck you up. I don't think I need to actually I can see.
Learn boxing.
I can see that. Like, I don't need it. Like the point is, I don't need, like, think about it. Let me put it this way. This whole switch character is actually new. So you're telling me nobody understood Spider-Man's ability with all the other previous Spider-Mans? When there was no narrative?
It's about who they are.
P-Rock, come on, you make it too much.
It's not about the abilities. We know you understand the abilities because you're a gamer. You play the game. You understand how the abilities work. What I'm trying to tell you is, you see Lewis Hamilton going around the track, and he does it in a world-setting time. Then you decide with your boys to go pay for the exact same car on the exact same track, and you try it, and now you understand his skill. Like, yes, you knew he was the most skilled person before, but it's only from your understanding as a person who is not him that you understand just how legendary it is. And yes, the more you get invested in the same art form or the same sport, the more you will come to appreciate it. It's a bit like understanding that, oh, this person is a world chess champion, but you don't know how to play chess. So you don't know how, like, miraculous his moves are until you learn how to play chess, and you're like, holy shit, he managed to get out of this position? Like, that's what they're trying to get you to do.
So Spider-Man grabbing a car and lifting it in the air, I can't understand that unless I play as Mary Jane.
Yes, that can't lift the car.
No, get out of here, bro. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. Listen, no, I don't need to play as Lois Lane to understand that a guy flying in the air, I'm like, wow. But until here's
Atreus tries to smash open the chest in God of War Ragnarok.
Listen,
why do you think they had that moment? Why do you think they had that moment?
Let me ask,
but Atreus can't do what Kratos does.
But here's the thing, though. God of War was out before this whole Kratos thing, and we knew he was a powerful motherfucker. He literally killed the God of War in part 1. So I think we pretty much knew Kratos was powerful. Literally, the very first God of War. I didn't know why. I didn't know.
Play as Atreus, and he
smash up in the he killed a god. I don't need Atreus. He killed the God of War and became one. I don't need Atreus for shit. I don't need Atreus for shit.
That was another section we didn't need.
I don't need Atreus. I think I can understand the concept of Kratos killing God of War. In fact, he literally, let me put it this way, he destroyed Olympus and every god. You're telling me it wasn't until Atreus couldn't crack open the chest is why now I realize how powerful Kratos is. No, he killed Zeus. That motherfucker's a beast. Listen, he went to Hades 3 times and came back. I already know he's a powerful motherfucker. I don't need to play no one else to understand. You don't fuck with that dude.
The point isn't for you to know that he's powerful. The point is for you to feel a contrast. That's the point.
There it is, right there. Contrast.
That's the point.
It's a contrast.
Listen. I don't need a contrast. I can't go to Hades and come back. I am the contrast. I can't do what Kratos does.
E-Rock, the thing
you kill me. Hold on. You kill me, I'm dead. I ain't coming back. I'm dead. Y'all not gonna see no more 60 frames, no lag on this channel. So I am the contrast. I get what death means. I get it. I don't need Atreus. I'm just saying. But notice this. No one has a problem with Atreus. You want to know why?
People have played over problem with Atreus.
It's because that his gameplay is awesome. Some people want his. Some people. Why do we disagree? Some people want his own game to come out.
I want his own game.
Yeah, his game. But who wants a Mary Jane type style game? Ain't nobody want that shit. Ain't nobody want that trash.
That circles back to what I was saying about it being a challenge to balance it, because what Extreme is saying is absolutely right from a narrative perspective, but it's a difficult balance because you have a character that most people really don't want to play.
No.
I didn't want to play as her either, but I found, even with this game, I found her segments tolerable. And that's the kind of the root challenge with this is nobody really wants, most people really don't want to play with her, and her segments are just more tolerable. But from a narrative perspective, her character does play a big part, because not only does she grab the story with the right hand, place it to the left, and pass it along, but she does offer a level of contrast in the form of there's more tension when you're using her, because she doesn't have she's not as durable as the Spider-Man, and she has to use stealth. And that's the other challenge. Not everybody likes stealth. So you have a combination of not everybody likes stealth, and then using controlling Mary Jane, which wasn't the most fun, is why this was received so poorly. But from a narrative perspective and offering contrast, like Extreme said, and he's absolutely right about that, it's not about you understanding what the characters are capable of. It adds a little bit of layer of depth to it. Like when Atreus punches the chest and hurts his hand, you didn't need that to know that Kratos is a badass, but what it does is it makes you kind of maybe even internally, you just kind of have a brief chuckle, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you this.
Solidify it more, but it just adds a little bit of humor and depth to, it just, he's a badass, but then you see somebody try to do something that he does,
I get
and
that
then it
part.
just
I get
reinforces it even more.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
So let me address it. So Alfonso Coy said, so P-Rock, you're saying that in the movies they could have never had MJ at all because she's insignificant? This is where you guys in the chat don't fuck this up. In the movies, I am not playing the role of MJ, right? Let me ask you all you guys something else. Which you think the average gamer who plays Spider-Man notice more? This contrast, narrative, whatever, or that her gameplay sucks? If you were to be a betting man, which is the bigger noticeable thing? Her contrast and the dynamic of, this is how I feel, or man, this gameplay really sucks. Which you think is the more noticeable? Which is the more? Which is
right?
Right. But which is the more noticeable? No, but I got it.
We're
which is
not saying wrong either.
We're not saying wrong, but I'm saying which is more noticeable. You think there's a bigger group of gamers that saying
the gameplay? Obviously.
Exactly.
But
I don't think there's a lot of gamers that see the game the way you do.
The work of art has to answer and be true to itself. And sometimes, yes, you as the audience are going to go through a chapter you may not like. This is why they are epic, like novels with set characters, and then with one character randomly in the middle, they either do a flashback or they will put you in the point of view of another character you've never been in the point of view of. Not because they are fun, not because you're supposed to get attached to it, but because you're supposed to just not be the main character for a moment, so that you can understand the main character and see them from a different perspective. That's a narrative thing. And yes, like I'm saying, this art form should become more and more narrative. It's a bit like when you play, another game that did this, Nier Automata. When you go and you play the second round and you are now playing as the other androids, that lets you understand your original 2B character way more than if you had just played every single new game plus, quote unquote, as just 2B. Like you had to play as 9S. And 9S's gameplay is far less fun than playing as 2B. It's not even close. Like he plays a hacky mini game literally all the time. You have like a 30-hour runtime and you literally play this little hacky mini game probably for like 5 or 6 of those hours. But the point is that narratively, it makes the game better. Now, I will say this, 9S is still a lot more fun than MJ, but that's not the point. The point is the contrast. So yes, the gameplay is serving the narrative.
But the point
it is subservient to the narrative.
No, but no, it can't be. It can't be.
We're not putting you in MJ's shoes for the entire game.
Yeah.
It's literally just a few slivers. So that's why it's okay. Yeah.
I know, but those few slivers could have. I think they could have been effective with a cutscene. Honestly,
No. You could not have had the same.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Easily, I can. Easily can. One, because I will tell you why. Because I didn't have any emotions playing it other than damn, this
Just
part
because
sucks.
you missed the point doesn't mean that the point wasn't there.
It doesn't. It don't matter.
That's you.
That's
what
no.
I-
That's
what I-
not me.
what I would say
That's
is-
not
what I
me.
would say is-
That's no. It's not because I'm the consumer. It's their job to entertain me. It's not my job to succumb to them. That's not how it works. You gotta meet me.
No. It's
yes,
your
it
job
is.
to appreciate the art, and then
No.
It's not their job to make
Listen.
it for you.
Let me put it this way. Yeah.
If
Say
they
that's.
decided that this contrast was important, then it is important.
I'm saying,
You
listen.
can disagree.
Say
but you
that.
can't
Say that.
settle
Say
the
that. Say that to the developers of Dream and see how far they got. I'm
What
pretty
do you mean
sure.
making the art?
You know what I'm
What do you mean
saying?
making it?
So
That
I
was the
guaranteed.
point.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of games where people have artistic thing and it failed. At the end of the day, right? You're right. It's a small
Just because they're
segment.
a dev doesn't mean they're correct.
Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I think most people, the shit you're saying, most people didn't notice. What is more average is gonna be, this part sucks. I could do without it, and people will be fine with that part.
That's very true. And like when Blaze said, they could have did it with a cutscene. While I don't think that the impact would have been the same, I think they should have. I think they actually should have done a cutscene. For the very reason is, again, it was an incredible challenge to try to balance that, and I don't think they hit the mark like they were trying. And even though I don't think a cutscene would have been as effective in terms of the depth of contrast, like what Extreme is saying, a cutscene would have been more well received. And although from an art perspective, we get that they're going with narrative. But at the same time, if you ever have read a book where the audience didn't like a certain thing, a lot of times the editors in the publishing house, the editors will come back and they'll be like, hey, this criticism was yada yada, and this author will
Hey, your mic.
Hey, your mic messed up.
Ramon,
your mic.
pulled up.
Like
It just
either
got
something-
further away or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you got further away, so I don't know if your mic got loose or something.
Yeah, I think you just got out.
Let me hit up.
By the way, I will say
Let-
this. Books do this all the time, by the way.
But
Literally,
that's-
in books they do this.
Yeah, but that's a
all the
book,
time.
bro.
That's different. Like
No,
movies.
No, don't do that. Don't be dismissive.
I am gonna be this. I'm not being.
Trying to do-
No.
Books
Because
trying to do the same thing, deliver
no,
narrative. And
no,
we're
that's
talking about
different.
this from a
But
narrative
but
point of
books are purely narrative. Movies are purely narrative. Games have a major element, which is gameplay. That's an important
Right.
part. You cannot dismiss
you're
gameplay.
right.
Books don't have gameplay.
Blazer right about
All
that.
right.
Movies
In
are
fact,
absolutely-
literally, that's the main difference between gaming and everything else. Is that it's proactive. It's active entertainment. Books
To a
and movies
degree,
are
the story is
passive.
subservient to the
It's
gameplay.
passive. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen,
You know?
listen. There are games, okay, and there are times when narrative takes a backseat to gameplay, and there are times where the flip side is going to happen. Like, take a look at Breath of the Wild. The narrative is garbage, absolutely garbage. It is full of plot holes. It has nothing to do with narrative. It shouldn't even be called a narrative. Take a look at Elden Ring. These things don't even have a plot. They have lore. They don't have a story. They just have characters that happen to live inside this lore-filled place. So the point is the gameplay takes precedence way over the narrative. And the thing is, for the most part, in Spider-Man 2, the gameplay is stronger than the narrative. Like, if you take a look at the story of Spider-Man 2, it's not anything to write home about. But the point is this, there's going to be times where the opposite happens, and you guys have to be okay with that. Yes, gaming is a unique.
I don't have to be okay with that.
You do.
No,
you
I
do.
do not.
Because there are times when narrative-
I'm gonna explain. Let's use.
Your main character is hurt. No.
I'm gonna say this.
You guys have played this part.
I know.
Hold on, PR, hold on. You guys have played this part. The main character is injured, and you have to sneak around and sneak out, and you don't have your weapons, and you don't have half of the moveset that you normally do, and you have to play this one mission very slowly.
And it's
because
annoying.
You're trying to understand that narratively your character is hurt.
No, I got it.
That you do.
No,
Okay,
but that's
but
but
just
that's
because it's
listen. Just because
What happens
listen,
there, the
no,
gameplay is subservient to the
let me
narrative
no.
for
So let me
one
explain to
chapter.
you. Let me explain to you. All right. Just because I have to do it in order to play the game doesn't mean I have to like it. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So there's
Because
because stuff like that. But let's look at the two extremes. How many games out there have the very best narrative but the worst gameplay that are successful? Like, it just doesn't really exist.
Hey, real
Now,
quick,
how many?
I got to bounce. You guys have a good night. Blaze,
All right.
we don't know each other, but I enjoy listening to you, man. You guys have a good night.
Yo, take it easy, bro.
Now look at the other side of the spectrum, and you just said it. How many games out there really have no narrative at all, but because of the gameplay, it's amazing and everybody loves it? The reason why is because the heart and soul of games is the gameplay, right? Books, movie. I know, all I'm saying is, if people have a problem with these narrative because it doesn't have fun gameplay, they need to figure out how to make the gameplay fun, because that's always good. That's always going to be a criticism. If you make us do something that's not fun, for a lot of us, the narrative behind it is going to be like, I just don't like it. You could have done this in a cutscene. Why are you making me play something that's not fun? You just done a cutscene. It would have just been better doing a cutscene and not have me go through it. And some people would skip it. Like, yeah, I'm skipping this.
And developers fail all the time, bro. Just because a developer wrote it doesn't mean it's the correct way.
If they were going to make the MJ segments a cutscene, they shouldn't have made them at all. It's either you understand you get the full contrast and the purpose of it, because it's trying to serve a very tiny, niche, but important part of the narrative. So it's either you can't just justify it with a cutscene. That's what I keep trying to tell you. You can't replace what they did with a cutscene. Otherwise, there's no point. Just take out those entire segments.
I think they could have.
And then you are less. With less of the game.
I personally think they could have, because I don't think she did anything impactful for me
at all
in that game.
What she does
at
is
all.
about the fact that you are not the Spider-Man.
Okay,
and I feel like you keep refusing to accept that.
No, but I understand I'm not the Spider-Man. I am not the Spider-Man playing a character that's not fun. I'm not getting you seem to think that I am getting enlightened. You will never convince me that I am being enlightened. It's not that hard.
I'm telling you what the purpose of MJ
I know what the purpose. Now my purpose is to tell you it sucks. That's my purpose. It sucks. The purpose, I get it. It has a purpose, yes. Whatever the developer intended to do, it sucks. I get it. Good job. Your creativity, cool. My criticism, it sucks. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Is it a big deal to say the game is terrible? I know. Like, just like a lot of things, like you said, like you're bleeding and you lose every weapon. They have all these weird, stupid shit that make you do, so I get it. I understand that. And overall, if the game is fun, then I'm just going to ignore it and just move on. Just like with Mary Jane. I'm going to ignore it and I'm just going to move on, because the majority of the game, 99% of the game, is absolutely fun. It's amazing. I'll just zit and whatever, pew pews, whatever. I'll deal with whatever little bullshit that do. To me, God of War, they did it right. Atreus is fun. I love that character. Mary Jane is not fun, but I still went through it. I did it. If they replaced it with a cutscene, or let's say if there was an option, would you want to skip the segment and just see a cutscene? I would select yes. I'd be like, yes, please. Skip this shit, show a cutscene, got it, done. All right, cool. Back to Spider-Man. That's what I'm saying. I understand they had something intention, but in the end, for me, I just see it as it's just bad gameplay. But overall, the game's amazing. I'm not gonna cry out of it. Now, if that segment was an hour, oh boy, yeah, there would be problem. Like, there's no fucking way you're gonna make me do an hour of this shit. There's just no fucking way. Like, that would be ridiculous. But I said short, whatever. But for a certain point is they just have to figure out a better way to make the gameplay more fun.
I've seen people failing that section too, so it might have took them out.
some people just still going through and stuff. But let me read the super chats real quick. So we got, where was I at? All right, so I did my G Bell with the BG. Chubb Norris. Okay, so this is in reference to Miles Morales being black. So Tom Hanks as a Black Panther is okay then? So you know what? I'm gonna show you something, because that's an interesting take, because was this okay? Johnny Depp, a white dude playing as a Native American? And there's a movie, and this guy's playing Fidel Castro, John Franco. Couldn't get Pedro Pascal or any other Latino actor, And here's my thing. I don't have an issue, actually, with James Franco playing Fidel Castro. Why? Because he's an amazing actor. that guy will knock it out. This movie just sucked anyway. But he's an amazing actor. James Franco, I think he's gonna knock it out the park, right? My thing is, for one thing, Pedro Pascal, he plays Joe Miller. That's an amazing achievement because you got a Latino playing Midwestern white guy in a zombie apocalypse, and he knocked it out the park. You see what I'm saying? So it's not so much white people playing roles, because I think that's fine. That's what an actor do. An actor is supposed to act, bring the character to life, and whether the character is Latino, Asian, whatever, if that actor has the talent to make you believe he's Fidel Castro, then I think James Franco is going to knock it out the park and do it. The problem is, just like what Extreme said, Idris Elba, I think he will kill that role as James Bond. He would kill it. He would be an amazing James Bond. I would love to see Idris Elba be a James Bond, but he can't play the role. Nobody wants to, we know the group that don't want to play the role. Even though he's an actor, he's an awesome actor, give him the opportunity to act. Make him believe he's James Bond and just enjoy what he could bring to the table.
He can pull it off. Huh?
I think he could pull it off, but because of his skin color, there's going to be blowback. Which I think we deny the actors. Let the actors act. That's why I didn't have a problem. Now that whole James Franco thing, some of the Latino communities and other places that had a big problem. I'm like, the issue isn't. I said it, and I got flagged. Oh, whatever. But I told them the issue isn't James Franco can't play. To me, Fidel Castro, I think he's going to knock it apart. To me, the issue is they won't have Pedro Pascal, use him, play John F. Kennedy. That's the problem. The problem isn't James Franco. The problem is it can't go the other way. It could go this way, and I agree. James Franco's an amazing actor. He's going to knock it out. He's going to make you believe he's Cuban. He's going to do a great job. But we got to go the other way. That's why I appreciate Pedro Pascal's Joe Miller and The Last of Us. I don't think people notice, but he played a country western white guy as a Latino. And he did a phenomenal job. Yes. Joe Miller's a white dude from the western country, but he's Latino. Wow. But his accent and the way he acts, you wouldn't think he's a Latin dude. That's what actors do. That's what they're supposed to do. And that's why I say let actors act. So don't be and let Idris Elba play James Bond. Nobody should be against actors trying to do whatever. If they have the opportunity to knock that character out the park, So now your question. So Tom Hanks as Black Panther is okay then? No, because he's old as fuck. Get a younger guy. Why you gotta name Tom Hanks? You name a dude like 60-something years old.
Yeah, that was a bad reference.
Yeah, get a younger white guy, whatever. But the whole point is let actors be able to get those roles, and they could probably knock it out the park. And that's their job. Their job is to make you believe they're that character. Let's see. Breaking news.
In the last James Bond thing, what was it? Not Quantum of Solace. What was the last James Bond film? No Time to Die. I think.
No Time to Die. Yeah, No Time to Die.
In No Time to Die, they had a black female Bond
007,
who had been given the 007
title. Yeah,
she was awful. Like, she was bad. And I don't mean that she was bad as the actress was bad, but she was bad as a character because she did not earn the 00 title of any number or any designation. Like, she didn't seem like a 00 agent to me. Because I'm like, you didn't actually show her being a badass. So how is she then going to be the next, inherit the legendary 007 designation? So the point is not to have, let's just race swap and let's just make black characters have traditionally white roles. It's like, no, Idris Elba will be a great James Bond because
he's a great actor.
And that's James Bond, right? And he's played badass characters before, and we can see how he can bring that to that role. I think she could also be a great James Bond, but the thing is, they had to show it in the movie, and they didn't. So right now, she hasn't earned it the way that Idris Elba should, automatically kind of have earned it. So yeah, that's the one point I want to say about it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, so wow. Let's see. Let's hit up this topic real quick. Last topic. We'll make this the last topic. Phil Spencer, on an interview with Famitsu, says some nice, interesting choice words. That's like third party ish. So right here it says Microsoft Phil Spencer, Xbox is a community of players who can play on multiple devices. So he said that plenty of times. He was asked a question. Phil responded, "That's a good question. As far as we are concerned, we think that all the people who play, including Game Pass users, are Xbox users," which is true. Of course, there are many people who play with home game consoles, but there are many people who play with home game consoles and PCs at home and play with multi-devices called on the go. Then, is Xbox a multi-device community? I think there will be a question, but for me, I think Xbox is a community of players who can play on multiple devices in various places. One of the starting points that changed my mind, one example of learning, was the acquisition of Mojang Studios, which is Minecraft. And if you guys know, when Microsoft acquired Mojang, Minecraft was everywhere. PlayStation, everything. Anyway, I think you all know that Minecraft is a very good community. Today, creators are determined to draw the world and create communities on various screens and platforms. Even when I was walking around the venue of Tokyo Game Show, there were many manufacturers with very good player community. So we are trying to listen to the voices of the creator community, and we would like to listen to what they want to do with Xbox as much as possible. Now, this is where it gets funny. It is both important. First of all, about hardware, I am very excited and looking forward to what I can do in the future. As for hardware, I think we can provide something unique for Xbox users, not just to adapt to what the other companies are doing. Just as Rogue Ally and Steam Deck are considered as part of the Xbox community, many Nintendo Switch and PlayStation users will also think of it as the Xbox community in the future. It is necessary. Similarly, make sure that everyone who continues to play Xbox games, including users who play on Game Pass on PC, feel equal in the community. I think it is also important. These are many things to work on. So I pass it on to you guys. We'll start with Blaze. What do you think about his conversation in Famitsu? Does it sound like he's little by little showing like, hey, get ready, because we're about to be everywhere? Hold on, I'll be back.
Yeah, it definitely does sound like he's putting it out there in the
Yo, Blaze, you're cutting out.
air.
Yeah, you're cutting out bad. You're botting hard.
I take over. I'm a researcher.
Yo, Baron,
Blaze, you
can
sound
answer
like
the
you
question.
underwater, my guy.
Yo, Baron, answer the question. What do you think about
You can't hear
us
me,
being...
huh?
We can hear
Oh,
you.
well, I guess I'll answer the question. I think Puerto Rock is full of shit on this topic because y'all don't understand Phil's game by now. You're never going to get it. Phil speaks, he talks a good talk, and he walks a good walk to get where he wants to be. He understands that he wants the Xbox ecosystem to grow into more gamers. All this third party talk is that's not where their goal is. Their goal is pretty much get more players to play on Xbox stuff, and they understand that if they're going to get more players, they're going to have to coerce some people that are playing on PlayStation, that are playing on Nintendo to buy into Xbox. He's just saying the right things at the right time, and he especially said it at the right moment in the right place, saying that to the Japanese magazine and doing it while he was in Japan. This is all part of his scheme. He already tricked y'all so far. So far, Phil has acquired Bethesda. He has acquired Activision. And let's not forget his leaked emails about what his plans was to begin with. So he's not fooling me. This has nothing to do with third party. This has all to do with trying to get gamers back on board with Xbox. He's a very, very smart man. That's all I got to say about that.
Wait,
and if you think this has to be,
Hold on. So you're saying that Phil is lying, or he's just saying what he needs to say to attract PlayStation users?
No, he's saying what he needs to say to attract more users to play on Xbox. That's it.
But do
That's
you
pretty
agree
much
that
it.
he's that we are now part of the community on Xbox? Then?
It's such a vague way that he says it. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, you're part of the community on Xbox. We're all gamers. We're all part of the same community. That's basically how that sounds to me. Like it is what it is. I mean, if we go back to way back when he first came around, when he talked about He wanted Xbox to be on every device that is known to man, or some stupid ass quote he said like that. Did that really end up happening? No, it didn't.
I think he's still trying.
The bottom line is, well, he did the opposite. He's buying up every fucking thing, so you have to buy and play on the Xbox fucking ecosystem. So there's I mean, I'm gonna go by old saying that everybody should know. You know, believe half of what you hear and all that you see. And looking at the moves that Microsoft were making, I think I see what he's trying to do. It's pretty obvious.
I feel like when you speak in circles, because I'm like, I don't fully nail down what you think. But maybe that's just me. Blaze, you fix your mic?
I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I don't want to keep barking.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I think, Baron, but I think he's definitely testing the waters. He's throwing it out in the air. I think, like you said, this is just a preparation from what is coming, and I think he's just trying to let people know, like, hey, prepare yourself because the day is coming. Like, it's as simple as that. Guys don't need to look and try to go through loops. That's what I think is going to happen. But I could be wrong. It's just my opinion.
So I had a conversation.
Sorry, Blaze.
What'd you say, bro?
What do you think is coming?
Xbox being on all platforms.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I could definitely. I can see him
console themselves.
No,
absolutely. I do. I don't think Xbox gives a shit about the box anymore, bro. They stopped counting numbers since 2014. They stopped counting damn numbers. Like, they don't care about the box. They care about the software and the ecosystem around it. That's it. That's what's important.
Why do they keep making the box if they don't care?
Because it's still in demand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, slightly, barely. It's on life support. And when you become a goddamn man, when you become a bot, Baron.
I don't know.
I ain't coming to bot. I'm just trying to make sense of
so let me put it. So I had a conversation with somebody, and somebody gave me a good comparison of what and this is all assumptions and whatever. So in the PC space, Microsoft had its own. They still have it, but they have their own Windows store, the Microsoft Gaming Store, whatever, right? And when they first launched it or relaunched it, it was supposed to be the way they're trying to get people to play games there, right? Because when you look at it, it's similar to a console. If you buy the products there, Microsoft makes the money off of everything, right? Primarily the third party, right? So if you buy third-party games there, Microsoft gets the 30% cut. Just like if you buy the games on their console, they get the 30% cut, right? So that's everything, so right? So Microsoft got their store, then they try to say, advertise, make it more appealing to try to pull gamers away from Steam, or at least the gamers that play on Steam also play on their store, whatever the strategy, right? But at the time, Windows Store was a competitor to Steam. They wanted you to play that. And they did things like to make things developer easier to make games for Xbox, saying, hey, we have this thing called Universal Windows Platform. One code, and the game will easily be on PC via their store and Xbox. And we have cross-buy. If you buy the game on Xbox, you automatically have a copy on PC. If you bought a copy on PC, it automatically on Xbox. So they did all these things to say, hey, play on our store, you get more benefits. One copy, third-party code, all this stuff. Then they threw Game Pass onto PC, right? And if you get the ultimate tier level, you got Game Pass on PC and you got Game Pass on console. So this was another thing to get gamers onto that actual Microsoft ecosystem that they can benefit from a third-party perspective, subscription perspective, everything. Problem was, it wasn't working. PC gamers love Steam because of the things it does. It's mature. It has all these features. It has all the quality of life stuff that a PC store launcher has. And it's literally the gold standard. And PC gamers was not leaving. There was nothing Microsoft can do. Steam is it. The end all be all. You either find a way to appeal to the PC gamers or you're left out. Microsoft realized, you know what? The gamers are just not leaving. They're not migrating over to the Windows Store. They don't really care about cross-buy as much. Some do, primarily a lot of Xbox console gamers or whatever, but it's not making the big waves they want. So they made the decision, you know what? If that's where PC gamers play, y'all want to play on Steam, fine. We're going to put our games on Steam, right? But we're still going to have our own store. We're still going to do cross-buy, and we're still going to have Game Pass. Because, you know what? If you want it, you want it. If you don't want to play our games on Game Pass and you want to pay $70, then pay the $70. We're not going to stop you. The reason why I say all that is I think that's going to eventually be the mentality in the console space. We got Game Pass. We got a $250 console. We got an Xbox Series X. Play the games here. But that's not happening. At least not in the numbers that are, big. You look at the numbers in the console space, people want to play on Nintendo Switch. People want to play on PlayStation globally. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Even though Microsoft's like, yo, I got all these games here. Come on over. Got Game Pass. Got great deals. Well, you see month to month, Switch is selling huge record numbers. PlayStation's selling huge record numbers. So at a certain point, they can be like, you know what? Fine, whatever. We'll still got the consoles for those that want to play console, enjoy cross-buy, enjoy Game Pass. But if you guys really want to stick to your products and pay the $70, you know what? Fuck it. Here you go. Because we're not getting you to buy our console, just like they couldn't get PC gamers to hop on the Windows Store. They just couldn't do it. So, you know what? They went where the gamers were at. Here, if this is what you really want to do, we're not going to stop you. Boom. Pay your $70. You don't want to play the game on Game Pass or a little monthly fee? Fuck it. Here you go. Like Starfield. A lot of gamers bought Starfield on PC. They didn't play it on Game Pass. They bought it on PC. Despite the fact that you technically could have finessed the game, paid $10, beat it, and then cancel your subscription. No, PC gamers literally paid the $70. That's what they want to do. At a certain point, I think Microsoft just realized in the console space, Nintendo and PlayStation, they're everywhere. That community in huge numbers is not migrating over to Xbox. They're just simply not. So at a certain point, Microsoft's going to make the same decision. You know what? Screw it. That's where you guys want to play. You don't want to come on this side. Then we'll bring the games to you. Here you go. Take it. Give me $70, please. Thank you. Have a nice day. And I think that's just what Xbox realized. And I think that's why Phil Spencer's realizing. At a certain point, he even said it. No joke himself. You can't out-console Sony and Nintendo. It's just not going to happen. But that doesn't mean you can't take advantage of the console market that they built and just make money off their backs, right? Technically speaking, right now, with this Activision Blizzard, they're going to make a shit ton of money off of Call of Duty, off of PlayStation. And not just the game sales themselves, but the money transactions, right? That's going to change a whole lot of things to the financial guys. They're going to see like, holy shit, we're making a shit ton of money, right? The only reason to not put the games on PlayStation is if you still have a strategy to have your console in the console market try to be a huge competitor and try to gain huge market share. That would be the only reason. And if Microsoft still has that mentality, then yes, they're not going to put the games on PlayStation. If their strategy for the console is, no, we want our console to sell. We want a deeper market penetration. We want this console to be a huge figure in the console space. But if that console doesn't do that, it doesn't get the numbers, it doesn't get the console sell, and it's not getting the market penetration, they're not going to leave, just like how they decided, hey, put the game on Steam, screw it. The PC gamers just ain't leaving, and we're not going to miss out. I think they're going to do the same in the console market. If the gamers ain't leaving and that console ain't selling, to their expectation, then they're just going to go where the gamers are, and they're going to take advantage of what both Nintendo and Sony created in the console market, and they're just going to put their games there and make money off that fan base, and they're not going to care. Because when you think about it, from Microsoft's perspective, there ain't nothing wrong with that. The only people that's going to be pissed is just the fanboys. Phil Spencer's not going to be pissed that he's making money off of PlayStation. He most definitely not going to be pissed if he's making shit tons of money off of Nintendo gamers buying his games. Why would he be mad? If the Nintendo gamers don't go to Xbox, but they'll be more than happy to play his games on Nintendo Switch, he ain't going to give a shit. He's not going to feel sorry for Tim Dog. Like, damn, my bad, Tim Dog. I took away your ammunition to fanboy. My bad, bro. Like, he ain't give a fuck about that.
What are you saying?
He's not going to give a fuck about that.
Are you saying he's going to
like
put
a good
Hi-Fi
story,
Rush?
Porter Rock, but
Are you saying? Hold on. I'm just trying to understand. Are you saying he's going to put Hi-Fi Rush on Switch or something?
He could. Why not? Let's see if he did. Yo, Byron, what would be the blowback? Well,
it's simple as this, man. He said that. He said what he said simply because there are going to be certain games that are going to be on all platforms. We're talking about your Cupheads, we're talking about your Minecraft, we're talking about your Call of Duty. There's a reason why they signed a deal with Nintendo and Sony about Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. I don't think those two games, I don't think that game is going anywhere. That's going to stay multi-platform. But like you said, they make too much money off of that. But also in the same token, there's a reason why they stocked up on all these developers. They're going to make a push to have their console be as dominant again, at least like it was at the Xbox 360 level. That is what Phil Spencer's goal is. You basically saying that Sony and a lot of other people fought Microsoft tooth and nail and the FTC fought them tooth and nail to not let this acquisition go through for no fucking reason at all. If that's what they were going to do and put it on the console in the first place, why did everybody fight it so hard? That's obviously not that's not their goal. His goal is, let's just be nice, let's play nice with all these gamers, and eventually they'll come. Starfield came out, the Xbox sales increased. They understand that all you have to do is build it and they will come. Xbox 360 ain't that too long ago.
Wait,
the gamer market will fluctuate. Like it can happen. So it's like
the month that Starfield came out, PlayStation 5 crushed Xbox like bad. Like it didn't do anything. The month Starfield came out. Now Starfield, the game sold well. It was number one. But
the Xbox came in second place, and the sales of the console increased.
But that's because Nintendo Switch is slowing down. You have 130 million Nintendo Switch sales.
Not slow down. Their financial just came out yesterday. I mean, this morning. They're not slowing down.
Listen. You said Xbox
sales actually increased in their 7th year. They're not slowing down. But you just got to look at the facts of what's actually happening.
But no. Go back to your original statement. You said it took second. So who did it beat?
It beat out the Switch.
Yeah, the system that already has 130 million sales. Listen, the system that already has 130 million sales has been out since 2017. So Switch is on the downturn because you can only sell for
downturn, my guy. They just released their financials today.
No, I'm not talking about money and profit. Obviously, profit-wise, they're going to make more money.
About the actual units sold. That's what I'm talking about. Not the money and profit. The actual units sold.
So let me ask you this. So they're selling more consoles this year than they did last year. That's what you're saying.
Which is crazy.
Let me see. I gotta check.
Well, obviously, that's boost. You can put that.
Let me see. Hold up. I'm gonna verify that bullshit.
In the meantime, I have a question, Baron. Are you saying that in the PlayStation 6 and in the next Xbox, that Xbox is going to create a powerful console, either more powerful than the PlayStation 6 or just on par, and then they're actually going to want to sell it and be the dominant console gaming box? Can I expect that in 2030?
Say that. I think they have all the tools to turn it around now. I think they have everything.
No, but I mean, are they going to go for it? I'm not even sure if they're going to achieve it.
Absolutely, they'll be done tonight.
Powerful high-end console gaming.
Why would they not go for it?
Hey, that's what I want. That's what I want from Xbox. I want them to stay in the fight because I fully believe that they are going to go for a mid-tier console. They're not going to be as powerful as the PlayStation 6, but they're not going to be as dog shit as the Switch 2 or whatever the hell it will be. Okay? That's what I believe. But if you're saying that they're going to go high-end, where they're going to compete with PlayStation 2 for now or surpass them, which would be even better, and not surpass them in some fake teraflop count or whatever. I mean, surpass them as in surpass them. Like the Xbox One X did the PlayStation 4 Pro, for example. Then that's what I want out of it. So thank you for that. That gives me hope.
No, it's just like I don't understand why people think they did all these moves. We're just gonna admit defeat and we're just going to put everything on everything. The whole
But
FTC situation.
you hit the key.
Situation,
you hit the key right there. You hit the key right there because you just said
FTC situation lets you know that people. The thing is, us on the outside, we only know so much, but the people on the inside, they know more. So it's the whole reason of how they battled so hard for them not to acquire Activision lets me know that some people on the inside know a little bit more about what Microsoft plans are. And I think it's pretty obvious they're going to make a push for it. There's no reason you loading up all this firepower just to say, "Hey, we're waving a white flag. We're just going to put everything on everything."
That's
already.
No, but that's the problem. You seen it wave the white flag. I don't think Xbox sees it that way. For example, when Microsoft made the decision to put Microsoft Office on Mac, that wasn't a wave the white flag moment. That was just a moment of, why the fuck are we not making money off of all these Apple users? That's how they saw it. They didn't. Satya didn't see it as a defeatist attitude. He saw it as why the. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. I think people see this as if Microsoft, and I know I troll and talk shit, but I only do it because I know there's people who are emotionally attached and that hurts them. And it just blows my mind that my words actually is killing them. That's the only reason why I do it. But the reality is, think about it. If Microsoft makes a decision to put games on PlayStation and they make a shit ton of money in the console market because of it, how is that an L other than fanboy wars? It isn't. Microsoft making money off of PlayStation's back is literally, think about it, it's literally what Microsoft does for everything else in their division. Everything else in their division is, even with their Surface tablets, right? They make Surface tablets. But the operating system and the software that makes the Surface tablet is available on third-party tablets too, the competitors. They don't keep the software exclusive to Surface. You can have the same functionality from a Hitachi or from any other brand because they don't see it as competition. They see it as, you make something, hey, we could put your software on your shit, I'm going to make that money. That's literally the Microsoft way. The problem is, like Joseph said, they're not going to raise the white flag. I don't think that's how they see it. The whole white flag thing.
Well, that's the thing.
We see it that way from a fanboy perspective.
And that's why I see that.
That's the way you're making it seem. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be specific games that are going to be on all platforms. And we know Call of Duty is going to be one of them. But there's a reason why Starfield ain't on all platforms. There's a reason why Elder Scrolls 6 ain't going to be on other platforms. They continue to still want to drive their hardware. He's just saying the right things right now. That's what he's saying.
Baron, you seem to think Xbox is going to flip flop with Sony or Nintendo as the dom. You said the 360 wasn't too long ago, brother. That was almost 20 years ago. Almost.
Listen.
That shit. Listen, Xbox will never. Listen, are you listening closely?
Oh my God.
We'll never get back to this strategy. I'm just telling you the truth, bro. It's over.
Hold on. Let me be honest with you. You were talking over him. Why would Xbox never do?
Let me be honest with you. Sony has all the capabilities in the world to maintain a second place position. They have all the capabilities.
Oh, brother, what you all right.
I like that.
They're the number one console.
I don't know.
What mean second place?
Like
PlayStation
got. What you mean?
PlayStation got is the number one console market.
I don't.
Who's number one?
I have a question
Who's
for
got
you.
the most selling consoles of all time? Who's got the most selling consoles of all time?
It's really Xbox and PlayStation. Who else is in the fight? There's only two people in the console. And you got Nintendo. You got Nintendo on the mobile side.
Let's not do that right now.
Yeah,
they got
Tegra X chips, brother.
It's a mobile.
I mean, let's not do that.
You guys got Razer. You guys got BlackBerry.
There's a reason why when the official numbers come out, it says home console. We don't have to really go over this.
Listen,
you can believe what you want, and you're entitled to your own beliefs. But there's a reason why it's counted as a home console. So let's.
Your Switch is built like a BlackBerry. You know that, right?
You keep saying that Satya Nadella is the first person that put Office on Mac, but
I think so.
Office has been on Mac since 1989.
Oh, really? No, it's Microsoft Office.
Microsoft Office for Mac 2004. So I was always like, wait, is this true? But
no, man, I thought he made the decision.
Yeah, no. And it's been made. Yeah, Office for Mac has been a thing.
This is a console? This is a console. This thing. This is what you call a console? That's a console.
When you look up.
That's it. This is a console.
The sales records.
This is a console.
Which is under
Listen. Look at this.
There's nothing else to debate.
Look at this is a console.
Nothing else to debate.
It's a console. You better cut that shit out.
To debate. I should make the rules, Porter Rock.
Man, listen.
I don't make the record books.
Baron,
I don't look at MPD.
You play.
You arguing with the wrong guy.
Baron, you play on a handheld, dog. I'm sorry.
Listen,
look at this.
I don't make the record books. I don't work at the MPD, my guy.
Look at it. Look at this. Look at this.
You can have
and look at this.
All you want.
Ain't no opinion. Look at the mother sucker. Look at this. Look at this. And look at this.
All you want.
Bro, look at it. Look at. Do I have to do Bird Box and be the guy and open and force your eyes? Look at it.
Look at it. Upside down, flip it, turn it upside down. I don't give a fuck what you do with it. It's not going to change the facts of what.
Look at this. And the facts is you can look at it.
Argument?
That he's saying that Nintendo Switch is not a mobile device; it's a console.
But it's a handheld. We all know that it's classified as a handheld.
It's a handheld.
It's a BlackBerry Joy-Con.
Look at that.
Trash. BlackBerry.
Look at that.
But moving on to something that's just not.
Actually, hold on. I haven't answered the question. Listen, here's what I believe is going to happen with Microsoft. I believe that they are still going to make a console simply because, not for the first party stuff, but simply because they get 30% from third party. And as long as there's going to be 20 or 30 million users, doesn't matter every generation, it doesn't matter how much the PlayStation outsells them by, as long as they have 20 or 30 million as a user base by the end of the gen, that is still worth the investment that they're going to put in. I am terrified that PlayStation and Nintendo will allow them to put any franchise they want on their own platforms, because I think that's just going to dilute the industry. And I do believe that there needs to be exclusives, like whether those are single player, live service, or anything in between. I understand that the Minecrafts of the world exist, the Fortnites exist, the Call of Duties exist, which can't be exclusive, but I don't want it grounded on PlayStation. I don't want a Sea of Thieves on PlayStation. I think it's important for each platform to have their own identity, their own goodies that will attract you to that platform. So, yeah, I'm terrified that Microsoft is going to go full third party, and then Sony is going to allow Game Pass on PlayStation, and all of the games and Master Chief will be on the DualSense controller.
Here's my question.
I don't want that to happen.
Here's my question. If that's the case, then why did they sign all these deals? What was the point of signing these deals?
Because they want to make money. Like, I don't see these deals as things that...
I will say this. No. So I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question. It's because they want content on Game Pass. Because they can't keep doing these third-party deals. It's too expensive. But they don't have enough developers to actually put enough content at a nice, decent pace on the Game Pass subscription. So how do you consistently be able to provide content on your Game Pass subscription? You need developers, right? So now you can do one of two ways. You can pay to build studios from scratch, or you could just buy publishers that already have their shit figured out and put it on Game Pass. So it isn't the console. Let's say that. They didn't buy these things for the console. They bought all these developers and publishers for Game Pass, because now they already have publishers that already have the developers. They already have a system in place. They already have well-known IPs. Now those games are going into Game Pass. That's the main reason. It's for Game Pass. It wasn't for the Xbox console. Now they have a lot of studios where they could churn out games at a more frequent basis, and they don't have to pay as much for third party. They're probably still going to do it, but not as much, because they have a lot of studios to fill up their own Game Pass. So that's the main reason why they're doing all these acquisitions. They need developers. They need a lot of developers. It's the only way they can say a new game on Game Pass, another new game on Game Pass, another new game on Game Pass. It's the only way. You need a lot of developers for that.
Pass.
Yeah,
I'm not doubting you on the Game Pass thing at all.
Now the question is,
because your question was about going third party.
Yeah.
If they wanted to do that, they will be doing that actively right now. That is the thing.
No. So what I said was, if this strategy doesn't, if they, just like how with PC, right? That's why I gave the Steam analogy. They put a concerted effort, and it didn't happen overnight. This was something that happened over the years. They tried to get people to go on the Windows Store. They added UWP. Then later on, they said, hey, you cross-buy. You know, it wasn't like an overnight thing. It was a long, drawn out battle to try to get people in Windows Store, and then at a certain point, Microsoft just said, you know what, this battle's not worth it. The people aren't migrating over to the Windows Store. Everybody wants to play their games on Steam. So you know what? That's where you want to be at, no matter what we do, because they had exclusives, whatever, cross-buy, all these great stuff. PC gamers like, nah, no thanks. They even put Game Pass on PC. And while Game Pass is successful on PC, you still have a lot of people playing on Steam. They don't want to play on Game Pass. Even though they could,
you're agreeing with what I'm saying. Then it's basically
no, I'm not agreeing. I just originally told you, just like the PC store at a virtual point, if that console don't sell, and that's what I said in the beginning, if that shit don't meet the metrics at a certain point, they're gonna be like, you know what? Fine, you guys want to play on Nintendo, you guys want to play on PlayStation. This is where you want to be at. They're gonna make the decision that they did for the Steam gamers. If this is where you really want to play.
Are you saying the Xbox Series, or are you saying the next console they bring out?
What's up? No, I'm not saying any specific. I'm saying overall, if their strategy doesn't bring in the sales for their console, they're just going to make the same decision they did on PC. Fuck it. Wherever you want to play, that's where we're going to put the game at. If the majority of gamers are playing on Nintendo and PlayStation, and that's just how it is, then they're just not going to stay on that 20, 30 million box generation after generation. They're going to move on. They're going to be like, fine, just like they did with Steam. That's where you want to play.
But here's the thing: they got all these developers and all these acquisitions, so they won't be in that position anymore. Where it's only 20 million, 30 million on the Xbox ecosystem.
All right, we'll see.
They got them.
We'll see.
We already see that the games sell on other
platforms.
Look at Call of Duty. Look at Cuphead. We see they already sell. So if that was their idea of what they wanted to do, they would do it.
They got that primarily for Game Pass. Game Pass is the main platform for them. Game Pass is the main platform. That's their way ahead. That's their main thing overall. Game Pass. That's their main thing. Now, if you want to say residually, this will cause to bolster Xbox sales. We're just gonna see. We're gonna see how the rest of the gen plans out. We're gonna see if now Xbox starts outselling PlayStation. We'll see if this actually works. I don't think it's gonna work.
I think it's inevitable.
I don't think it's gonna work. I personally don't think. I don't think it's gonna work.
What's inevitable?
Never in your life, bro.
I don't think. And I will say this: the main reason, because if there was one game that can actually do that, it would have been Call of Duty, but it's not exclusive, and that game will be on the PlayStation 6 for like 4 or 5 years. It's a 10-year deal. So if there was one game that could really, really change the tide in all of this, right? If there was one game that I firmly believe it would have been Call of Duty, but it's staying on PlayStation, so it's a moot point. It's not going anywhere, and it's not just on PS5. It's going to be on PlayStation 6. So even at the start of the next generation, you still could play Call of Duty on PlayStation.
You remember when Xbox had the rights to Call of Duty? You had the commercials first. That's all that happened. Literally, it's like they have the rights to put Call of Duty on the box, marketing rights, map packs, and bullshit like that. It's literally a flip flop again. That's all it feels like to the industry because they're available everywhere.
So. You could argue Elder Scrolls 6 has a potential to take some sales, but when is that game gonna come out? That game ain't gonna come out for like 5-6 years. You ain't gonna see that. What?
No 5-6 years. I think it's a little bit closer.
What? You think they'll be able to do it like in 3 years? I think they just started development.
I think maybe
that one.
Maybe 3.5.
I think Elder Scrolls 6 in 3.5 years. Boy, this dude's bugging.
No, they already said another team already started on that game.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a 4 or 5 year project.
Boy,
if they just started
that game like 3 years ago, didn't they? That's total of 6 years.
Let me see when the Elder Scrolls 6 started. Right now, that's why I said like the game that could have done it is Call of Duty because it comes out every year. You don't have to wait on that.
Porter Rock. There's one constant among these consoles that you cannot change, no matter if you on the Sony side, Nintendo side, or Microsoft side. The software is going to move the hardware. That is the end of discussion.
Yeah.
No matter what. So if it's something exclusive that people want to play, they are going to buy the system. There's nothing.
I agree.
There's no debating that at all.
So what's that? All right. So let me ask you this: what's the next game over the next 2 years that's gonna make people like, you know what? I gotta get an Xbox. What game?
I think
over the
that
next 2
lineup
years?
next year- that
What
lineup
game?
next year looks
What
better
game
than
over the next 2
PS5
years? What game? What game is gonna make people?
Fable can be that game.
Oh, get the fuck
I-
out of here!
Holy shit. People, Porter,
Nah,
you have a
I'm
you have
done.
a blessed night, brother.
Yeah, I'm done.
I
He's
never.
leaving.
Here's the-
leaving.
I'm done.
Here's the thing I don't understand
Fable.
about crazy fanboys like PlayStation fanboys. I don't understand why y'all are so dismissive about other franchises that ain't on PlayStation.
So no, but you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because Fable.
And that's against Nintendo
No.
franchises. which constantly sell
No.
every single
See,
year.
so
Y'all
no.
still
I'm gonna
have
help
the
you.
same
You
reaction,
want
which is
to know
ridiculous.
you want to know why? Because Fable didn't even do that for the Xbox. Fable wasn't a big seller on the original Xbox. It wasn't one of the games like, oh, I gotta get an Xbox for Fable. This is what blows my mind. Fable's not really that huge of a franchise. That's what blows my mind. It's not. That would be like me saying, "Oh man, bring back Resistance. This is gonna kill Xbox." Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Fable is not Fable. Fable. Why do you think the Fable studio shut down? Because it was so successful.
Yeah.
You think Fable shut down because it wasn't that big of a game. Like, that's the reason why Lionhead Studios shut the hell down. You think successful games shut down studios? They got fired over Twitter. That's what's funny. They got fired over Twitter. That's what's hilarious.
What's crazy is that studios
Hellblade?
down.
Let me ask you, Hellblade.
And sometimes you don't think they're in crisis when they shut down. We have seen that multiple times over the years.
But yeah, the point what I'm trying to say is, like, you mentioned games like Fable will be a good game, but that shit ain't gonna be a system seller. That's not a system selling game. Neither is Hellblade.
Starfield wasn't going to be a system seller, but it still increased the sales of the system.
No one said that.
Wait, what?
No one said that.
Starfield wasn't going to be a system seller?
No one said that.
Fucking liar.
No one said that.
It was supposed to be the game of
the
the
argument.
generation.
The only argument people were saying, the only argument people talked about was whether it's going to be game of the gen or not. That was the argument. Stop making a listen.
For a fucking fact, your Sony ponies were saying that Starfield was not going to increase the Xbox hardware sales.
And it
I
didn't.
know for a fact I heard that all year.
No. I made it. It ain't winning September MPD.
I heard that all fucking year.
Yeah, you right. You heard that. And I said it myself, like, this game ain't gonna help Xbox win September MPD. And it didn't. I was right.
The words were, it's not going to increase the
No.
Xbox.
No. Listen. I can clip what I said. I don't want to hear it then. I don't want to hear it. I can clip what I said, and I was right. The biggest game of the year, and you can't get, and the best you can do is second place, beating out a handheld that's been out for 7 years already. That's the best you can do with your number one game of the whole entire year. And the best you can get is second place? Let me ask you this. Imagine if October MPD PlayStation gets second place. What would you say? With Spider-Man. What would you say?
It wouldn't shock me because Mario came out.
Oh.
We know
You
how
know what I
fucking
hear?
Mario
You want
is.
to This is just a
That was a good save. That was a good
But
save.
it's the shield behind Nintendo. I just hate that. I just hate the fact that you can't stand on your own, so you always have to put like Nintendo as the shield. Like,
No, but he's a Nintendo guy. He's just a terrible Xbox
but
dude.
the thing is, I'm like, if we're arguing
Ask me
Xbox,
about
just argue
October.
Xbox.
Obviously, October had two big games, which was Mario Wonder and Spider-Man.
No. But
That's
the thing
pretty
is,
obvious.
I'm just like the point of the conversation. Actually, this is even about related to your conversation. It's just about the fact that, just generally speaking, it's like, oh, God of War sold 20 million. Well, Mario sold 45 million in 3 days. It's just like, yes, there's levels to this. Yes, there's legacy with Mario that doesn't exist with God of War. So yes, we understand. But it's just this constant tendency of hiding behind Nintendo. Like, just stand.
How are we hiding behind what's actual? How you hide behind facts? I don't understand that.
But the thing is, you bring up Nintendo as a reason to basically shield Microsoft from the criticism that it deserves to get.
How am I doing that? He asked me a direct question about October, and I gave him a direct answer related to October.
That's fair. That's fair. And again, for that conversation, that's fine. I perfectly agree with that. But the thing is, there's a general tendency, and even you do it, and I will call you out the next time that you do, where you use Nintendo as a shield to protect Microsoft. And I just think that is silly.
All right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this. Let me see if you're committed to the Xbox cause. This November, right? It's gonna be the biggest. November's always the biggest shopping year for games consoles. It's the biggest month every year. November sells the most consoles out of any other month of the year. December is the second most, right? But November's usually where the majority of the consoles get sold. The biggest year. Who's gonna be who's all right? So Microsoft, Xbox had Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush, all these games this whole year. PlayStation, as far as exclusives, really only Final Fantasy 16 and Spider-Man, and then Nintendo. What you think is gonna be in what order do you think November MPD is gonna be? What order in terms of console sale? Go ahead.
It's gonna be.
Who's gonna be number one? Number one, and who's number two?
It's going to be PS5. It's going to be Xbox Series.
So Xbox is last. So Xbox last.
I don't really categorize as last because I think everybody's going to.
Wait a minute, it's not last. Who else is there? Who else is left? It's last.
I think the numbers are
it's last.
Ridiculous from all.
Listen, if there's 3 people and you're third, you're last. Literally. What the hell? Like, what the hell are we talking about here?
He's the third winner. He's the third winner.
You're last. Like, what the hell? I don't consider last, bro. You last.
To you like this. Let me give you an example.
Now let me ask you this.
This happened a couple of holidays ago. I can't remember which holiday it was. So if the Switch sells 1.5 million and the PS5 sells $1 million and the Xbox sells just under $1 million. So you really consider that a loss?
No, actually, the other one is sold only 600,000. That's an L. That's an L. You need to in November. If one product is selling $1 million, the other product selling $1 million, then you need to sell $1 million. If you can't sell $1 million in the biggest, and this is Xbox for their brand, the number one territory. If you can't sell $1 million in November in your territory, you get the L.
Honestly, I think all of them are going to hit $1 million. I think the Switch will hit probably way higher than that, but because they got the new bundles and shit.
Listen, abandon capping for the Xbox, bro. This shit ain't gonna. It's not doing the things you want. You're too used to Nintendo. You're too used to Nintendo, bro. Right? Because more often than not, because more often than not, the Xbox games don't hit. They have a shitty, you know. I'm just saying.
I think we already know how that Black Friday is going to play out. It all has to do with the software.
And the PlayStation Slim comes out that November.
Oh God! Don't get me started on that.
Oh yeah, you guys are getting cleaned up, baby.
I'm telling you, the winner of MPD November is going to be PlayStation. I'm telling you, that Slim is going to clean house.
So?
Oh yeah, listen.
Yes.
So
really
listen, I'm gonna tell you
that's those Black Friday bundles.
I'm gonna tell you the Slim, and that month, and also you're gonna have the new Slim with the Spider-Man bundle, the new Slim with the Call of Duty bundle. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be fucking out the charts. That shit's gonna be off the meat rack.
You have a Switch with a Smash Brothers bundle.
That's just
with a Mario game bundle.
Smash Brothers is 5 years old, bro. You good?
And guess
what?
Man. And guess what? It still sold over $1 million over the last quarter. The game just continues to sell, so that doesn't.
Well, yeah, but that's because listen. There's not as far as Switch software sells. That's incredible. Obviously, we know, and you have a huge fan base, right? But the thing is, Switch is gonna sell great, but I think PlayStation is gonna take the November spot because again, PS5 is pretty much the new console. PlayStation 4.
I would agree with you if Mario Wonder didn't come out just a couple of weeks ago, and Mario RPG is not coming out in November. I would agree with you, but since those two things are happening, it's not happening. It's just not going to happen. And plus, they have bundles at discounted prices. It's not happening.
Let's make a deal, Baron.
It's not happening. All right, so let's have Switch bundles at discounted prices, boy.
Brother, let's make a
price cut, and they finally giving you a discount.
Can I make a bet with you?
Just shut up.
Are you good, brother? Can I make a bet with you? A light bet. Can I make a $50 bet with you that PlayStation wins November?
Jesus.
They win November.
Really, Blaze? You really think so?
Yeah. Bro, listen.
I think they're gonna win.
Listen, I will make that.
PlayStation is pop culture, bro.
If you can give me a realistic plan on how the PS5 will outsell 2 new Mario games plus a discount.
Wait, why does he have to qualify the bet? Just make the bet. Like if you're making the bet, make the bet.
I want to hear his argument.
No, you want to know my point?
So here's my point. Right? I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna tell you. This is just my point. This is the reason why I think. Like, number one, the Switch has been out for 7 years. At a certain point, there's only so many gamers you can sell to. While the PlayStation 5 is trying to get to all the 100 million PlayStation gamers that were on PS4. So the audience, they're not even halfway to the original audience from the PS4. So there's a shit ton of people to sell to by a lot. That on top of a slim model, which everybody loves, a new console design, that's going to boost sales just in of itself. Because not only are you going to get new gamers, but you're also going to get the old gamers that already have a PS5 that for whatever reason, they're going to want to buy the new Slim, even though it doesn't really do anything different than the other, just by right that it's a new Slim. So you have the combination of the new audience that have not transitioned out of the PS4 that will this year, especially with the Spider-Man packed in and Call of Duty packed in. And then you have the gamers that already have a PS5. For whatever reason, they just want to buy the new Slim and replace the old one. So that double whammy audience, I think, is what's going to edge out the Switch.
Okay. Are you making the bet now?
That's the reason why I think November.
That's an easy one. I'll make that bet.
Are you taking?
That's with Blaze. That's with Blaze.
You think you're on the bet?
Porter Rock, make sure he gets stuff.
That's Blaze.
Oh, Porter Rock, act like you. Come on, baby. What you mean?
No, but I'm gonna say it because I'm about to I'm gonna tell you because I'm about to lose the bet on the PS5 Pro. I bet Z $60 that there was not gonna be no mid-rev refresh, and that shit looks like is out the window.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Oh, you didn't think it was gonna be PS5 Pro, bro?
I didn't think there was gonna be a mid-gen refresh. I'm saying they did a really good job creating hardware. I'm thinking, they didn't fuck around this time around. You know, it was a complete.
No PS5 Pro.
You gotta admit, it's a complete opposite of the Xbox One PS4 launch. Like them shits launched trash. They were very. So that's what I'm saying. So when they released these consoles, I'm like, these dudes, they did a good job for both consoles. You know, Xbox Series S is shit, but the Xbox Series X and PS5, I'm like, they put in that work. They're gonna enjoy. So I didn't think I'm kind of half right because Xbox is not doing it, but PS5 is like, nah, Porter Rock, you about to lose these $60. Motherfuckers.
These definitely eating.
I made it before the gen started. I made a bet with Zaire.
No, not your bet.
Okay. Blaze, what's your number that you
get that cash app
is going to miraculously?
Well, we don't know
what's the number?
Yo, settle the bet first. How much?
Listen, I don't know the number, but you told me
$50.
You wanted a reason why, right?
You didn't give me the reason either, but yeah, I would like to know the reason.
I'm gonna give you the reason.
Cause Sony, baby.
Here we go.
No, seriously, it's a very simple reason. You know what the PlayStation symbol looks like?
A dildo.
Oh shit!
You know what it looks like, right?
Why is that? Why was that your first thought?
Bro,
out of all the things, oh shit!
Don't act like you don't remember the PS Move.
He just said the PlayStation symbol, not the PS Move. Oh shit!
Remember that. But go ahead, Blaze. What you about to say?
No, I was just gonna tell you. That's it. It's just brother. Just placed it.
That logo don't mean shit.
He said, oh shit.
Matter of fact, pay me right now.
He said, save the trouble. Give him his $50.
Pay me right now. I give it back to you. Right.
He said,
I'll give you 100 if you're wrong.
He's like, you just wasting time. Just cash app it now. That's it.
Blaze, it really ain't about the money. It's just about you got to understand the pecking order in this gaming industry.
I feel you.
And you're going to learn in November.
No, what's the pecking order? Give us the full pecking order. Give us the full pecking order. How does it go?
Nintendo's 1, Nintendo's 2, Nintendo's 3, and Sony is 4 right now.
So you see?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
At least he's smart enough to not mention Xbox. So there's improvement. We're getting there.
What you said there is that Xbox doesn't even make
four slots and not 4 slots and not even one for Xbox. So that at least he's recognizing that brand is dog trash, not dog shit. Anyway, so we're gonna cut this right. Let me do the final super chats. Magnum Gaming said breaking news: Rockstar to announce GTA 6 this week. Is that confirmed or people are just with the rumors?
Rumors right now.
Enigmatic J. I agreed that Mary Jane tunnel section hit different and made me feel vulnerable. A cutscene wouldn't have done that. All right. So so you got one guy. You got one guy who enjoyed it. Alfonso Carter, shout out for being a member for 10 months. Salute. And Psycho Gamer. NJ missions are strictly for a change of pace. Simple. And the pace is garbage. All right.
Shout out to Alfonso Carter. Good man.
Shout out to Alfonso. We're going to do our outros. Blaze. My brother, Sony baby.
Yeah.
What's going on,
depends.
my brother?
Really PC baby, but we live, so it's Sony. You feel me? But
oh shit.
Look, listen, Porter, I wasn't even supposed to jump in here, but I heard, whenever you guys having like good conversations, I say, you know what, let me just hop in there and say what up to to all my people and shit. But I appreciate always your time and allowing me to speak on your platform, brother. You already know. And
there's no allowing. You family. You part of the club. You got the keys.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it.
Appreciate it.
And I try to be humble. And listen, I know we had we disagree on certain points and aspects, but at the end of the day, brother, I value your opinion, and it's just the differences of opinion at the end of the day. So
listen,
appreciate
that.
All right. Oh, we got E4 Extreme. What's going on?
Yo, guys. Hey, you know I'm the voice of the people here, the Vox Populi. I'm here to represent you. So listen. Thank you for having me. You can find me on Twitter, even though I'm posting less. You can also find me on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna make more YouTube videos for you guys, so you can come and hear the truth, should you choose to. And yeah, that's it. That's all.
All right, Baron, the Intercontinental World Champion of the world.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's the Nintendo God. Shout out to Nintendo. Tears of the Kingdom selling 20 million in 4 months. Because that's what king shit do. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Nintendo Switch, 132 million. It's going to be the best selling
game. It's because I
game
pity all those children.
Best selling handheld.
It's going to be the best selling console of all time. Just creeping up on the PS2
handheld console.
You know what I mean? So,
hey, can you play Switch on a bus?
Shout out to everybody. I got some. I'm gonna email some napkins to y'all for when Tears of the Kingdom wins Game of the Year. So,
it won't be Starfield. It won't be Starfield.
It won't even be nominated.
Because it will be Tears of the Kingdom.
Because it won't be nominated. It won't be nominated. All right.
It won't even be nominated.
Oh, stop.
Can we talk on a serious note? If Starfield is nominated, I'm never watching the Game Awards again.
Y'all ridiculous.
I swear. That thing is so garbage.
That is ridiculous.
It doesn't even deserve Game of the Month. Was it even the best game that month? I don't even think so.
No, I don't think it was.
I know it didn't come out in October, but if it came out in October, it definitely wouldn't be the best game of the month. It got lucky.
No, I think Baldur's Gate 3 came out in September, so that was the game of the month.
There you go. Wasn't even game of the month. So yeah, the point is Game of the Year conversations. It doesn't it would be like me saying Forspoken deserves to be a Game of the Year.
I'm telling you, you know what's great? You know what's great? Because the podcast is the day after. Oh man, that's gonna be. Tuesday is going to be next Tuesday is going to be fantastic because
I'm just come on guys, let's not be ridiculous.
It's going to be
Starfield is
hell yeah, be a lot to talk about.
Just leave it. Leave it. Starfield. Put your stock in Hellblade 2 and Fable. I would be far more interested in Fable and Hellblade 2. And what's the other Disavowed. Yeah. Even
Avowed.
Disavowed
is I like Avowed.
State of Decay 3.
No, man. Don't just list games to list games. We know State of Decay ain't shit. Hellblade. Avowed. Man, you didn't even like Hellblade the first one. The hell you talking about? Now you like the sequel? The fuck? The fuck? Hold the fuck up. This guy bashed Hellblade when it first came out. Now all of a sudden you want that sequel? Man, if you don't cut your bullshit. You bash Hellblade like a motherfucker. This dude is the audacity of this cat. I'm like, wait a minute. I know he ain't mentioned Hellblade. No, hell no. Anyway, hey, it's gonna end the poll. This dude, now that new Hellblade look like the shit, man. If you don't get your punk ass,
he liked the makeup.
Get out of here, this guy. this dude trash Hellblade last gen. Now this man. Anyway, hey, so we closed the poll. 437 votes.
70 to 200 likes. You didn't get the poll.
Yeah, so will Starfield get a nomination for Game of the Year? 78%, hell nah, laughing my ass off. 21% said absolutely out of 437 votes. All right, so hey, so
also I want to give a shout out to Sony, putting their their bias aside and actually going to distribute, the new Legend of Zelda live action movie worldwide. You know what I mean? So
they got it. They
had to bow down to the king and do what needs to be done.
Well, so. No, Sony has to do it because if Nintendo make it, Link won't talk. Who the fuck is gonna go to a movie theater and he don't say shit? It'll be like watching a foreign film. It'll be like watching a foreign film. Just subtitle. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, hey, my friends, my family, I just want to let you know there are 3 absolute truths. And I want to end the show with these 3 absolute truths. Number 1, I'm your only friend in these YouTube streets. Number 2, Xbox is dog shit. And then number 3, Nintendo Switch is a handheld.